welcome back, people. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Yo, I don't know what go on. My internet a move away. Wonder if yeah, the internet a move jumpy. I don't know what's happening. Like my internet is moving weird. May look on the screen. Hope you're hearing me, people. But you know, and the squad is out. The big hoorah is I don't know if it has ended as yet. Yo, this weird. Okay, is the actual thing. StreamYard a drop. Look like it a drop. Internet. JT, where you been? So Las Blancos, as I said, I knew what the squad looked like, and I know this. I didn't want to be a part of the whole Leon Bailey thing because when I saw Leon Bailey name in the squad, that's why I told you guys. I said two big players in, two big players out. A lot of people don't understand that their disappointment is mostly coming from Omar Hutchinson and who's the other player? It's Omar Hutchinson and Reese Nelson. A lot of people are coming from the place where those two players are not in the squad, and everybody, you know, it kind of dropped the spirit. But if you really look at it, I'm here to talk to people who understand football. If we look at it, the team that we have right now is partially the team that played against Canada that got us in Copa America. Hence, this is why Coach Heimir Hallgrims as well has brought in back Andre Blake. Listen, when he started this journey, Coach Heimir, remember one of the first things he did was he brought back Andre Blake into the fold. He brought back Andre Blake into the fold. He was suspended, and the coach said, all right, listen, you're my best goalkeeper. I need to have you on my team. He brought Andre Blake back into the setup. And now, Andre Blake, people forget very quickly. Andre Blake saved us in that game. Andre Blake saved us in the Canada game that we actually got to qualify for the Copa. So I think the coach is bringing Andre Blake like how he brought a Mariappa, almost like a part of the coaching staff. People, hit the like button as soon as you come in. Please hit the like button as soon as you come in. It helps the visibility of the video. So the coach is bringing Andre Blake in a way like he's basically a coach, Andre Blake. So I don't have any problem there. It's a surprise move. As well, Amari Bell. Those are some of the guys who really kicked off the journey. And I think the coach wants to reward them. Okay, I have asked for two players to be out of the team. Those two players are now out of the team, which was Tavon Gray and Daniel Johnson. I asked for those two players to be out of the team. They are out of the team. No, people, Omari Hutchinson, he has made it, he has stated that next year he'll be ready. That I didn't get it from the coach. I got it from my sources on the island where the kid says next year a theme thing. So I have to go with that. Reese Nelson, as far as I know with Reese Nelson, I told you guys that the people who usually handles the getting the passport for the players is not those people who are handling this situation. I heard that it's Reese Nelson's brother that's actually handling that situation. So we wouldn't even know where they are at that stage with getting the process through. I think if it was the individuals who usually does it, we wouldn't know who is where Reese Nelson is. So people, let's remove that anxiety when it comes on to, okay, Omari Hutchinson is not there. Reese Nelson is not there. For me, when I got the squad, I didn't do any shows for almost 4 days. I think 3 to 4 days. And I specifically didn't want to do that because I didn't want to get drained with this whole thing as well. Knowing that Leon Bailey was selected, it was really playing with my mind like, what is really going on? Because I see Leon Bailey on an interview with Wayne Marshall, and he's saying he doesn't know when he's going to be in the team. And Leon Bailey's name is on there. So it was very confusing. However, people, there was a meeting on Monday between, I think, Chris Williams, Dennis Chung, and Craig Butler. Craig Butler, he basically outlined the stipulations and his demands of things he wanted. This is exactly what happened. He had a meeting on Monday, I think, and he basically outlined what he wanted. It stated that some of the things that he wants, people, if you basically allow Craig Butler to dictate how things work, how is this gonna go? Because all right, he speaks about security for Leon Bailey. He speak about security. So when Leon Bailey was like sneaking out, going to the parties, should Leon Bailey sneak out with his own security? When you look at Messi and those guys, they have personal security. The JFF has no problem with Leon Bailey getting his own personal security. If he thinks that's because most of the time, some top players have personal security, but security is provided to you at the facility or the country you enter. That's how I usually know how this stuff goes. The country you enter, the security, the hosting team, they provide security, their federation. No, if Leon Bailey wants personal security, I understand. Interviews with players and etc. Those things are done through the management, where you talk to the manager and the manager talks to the player and say, okay, can this person have contact? So those things that Mr. Butler is talking about, they're not rocket science and they're not things that are hard to solve. So let's say you get the security out of it, because does Leon Bailey walk with a personal security every day? I don't know. But that's the same thing I told you. Like, a lot of the other players are not crying about this. But understand, Leon Bailey is probably saying he's a big star. And even though he's not crying about it, or other players not crying about it, I can't say it's right. I can't say it's right. But I think he's making a huge deal out of this. And everybody knows this. This is why I don't even give this as much energy anymore. I don't give it as much energy. People, hit the like button on the video. Big up yourself, Kush Beats, Cushy Beats, Charlton fan, Stefan. So Nelson Paper not ready. No, Stefan, Nelson Paper is not ready. Remember, I did a show where I stated that Nelson, it's a different group of people who's handling his stuff. Blessing Owen, best up in yourself. Yes, so the squad for me is a strong team. Jamaica has a strong team. Remember what I said. Remember what I said. You see what I said? Remember what I said. Jamaica has a strong team. Damari Gray was the player I wanted to see if he was going to be back this summer after his injury, and Damari Gray is going to be there. So I think we have a really good chance with a Damari Gray. And here comes what I always spoke about, getting these two players on the field at the same time, a Ronaldo Cephas and a Damari Gray. Ethan Pinnock again. Ethan Pinnock is a stalwart. Ethan Pinnock, a lot of our tournament performance is gonna hinge on Pinnock. Yes, the midfield is a bit weak, but Dujon Sterling, again, I said to you guys, a lot of people are saying Dujon Sterling never come. Bro, how can Dujon Sterling never come if they don't even start the process as yet? People have to remember that, like, the process actually has to start. You have to actually start the process. So how can Dujon Sterling them come in if the process is not started yet? You know, so it's a tricky one, people. It's a tricky one. And also with the substitutions, people. You remember this thing I keep beating down on the coach about with the substitution? There's this thing, people, coming close. I'm telling you, let me give you a little exclusive with what go on. May I give you a little exclusive? Hit the like button, people. May I give you a little exclusive? You remember that? You remember that thing that I always tell you, the coach has a problem with where he made substitution. Guys, I heard that some of the players were actually upset with the coach of how he made substitution when Jamaica conceded those goals against Dominica. I heard Marian Garden was trying to defend it by saying the coach knowing what he know what knows what he's doing. Maybe those guys are watching the YouTube, because that's something I keep pinning down on it, guys, saying this is my main concern with our coach. The way he implements substitution. He hasn't really connected for me yet on that level with his substitution. Other things he's doing well. Coach Heimir Algrimson has come in, and basically, since Winfred Schaefer is the first time Jamaica has anything close to an actual team. We're not there yet. We're not playing team ball as yet. It's still in. Yeah. Yeah. So I think he has improved on some things, but yeah, some of the players weren't liking that. So the coach, I'm glad the players brought it up. So the coach know now that is something he has to improve on. He has to improve. I have a lot of concerns with this coach, says Stefan. Okay, yeah, man. What are some of your concerns? But guys, however, I'm not gonna be on YouTube crying about, yo, at 27, name them put up and them just treat the people them have a brother named Coach DeCosta, and the youth named Francis on Ryan show. I would love to ask Francis one football question about Jamaica, because like these guys have to understand that they just popped up. We don't even know how long they've been watching Jamaica. Like, I'm gonna say this, Coach DeCosta. I don't know if your goal is to coach one of the Jamaica's youth teams, but it's not gonna happen. The way how you, because I don't know what Mr. Butler told you when you went to Jamaica, but it has turned you into a individual where you're only seeing things to a tunnel vision, one side, just how you see it. You never give the JFF a fair shake. And I know you would probably love to coach one of the youth teams. Talking on YouTube and me and think people are gonna say, yeah, man, I coach the Costa, the best coach on YouTube. I am for coach one of the youth team. One thing with the people them the JFF, they remember everything. They remember everything. And I don't think you're very biased in the way how you talk about things with the coach and the JFF and everything wrong. Yo, the man them actually create a conspiracy. They created a conspiracy out of this. I was watching Ryan Intense Sports with Ryan this morning, listening to it. And bro, the people them turn this into a conspiracy, saying one name drop, whisper name did up there, and it go back down to 27. And so what? Okay, yes. The name them did up there. Now the name off. Like, we still have a team for support. Like, there's still 20 something players out there going. We're going with or without them. So the man them turn this thing into a big conspiracy about the JFF and CVM. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, bro, it's not that deep. The coach, when the coach sends off his squad, it goes to the person who does the cover art or whatever the artwork, whatever was relayed to the coach, maybe some misinformation there. And as I said, there was a meeting on Monday between Chris Williams, Dennis Chung, and the coach. No, and Mr. Butler. There was a meeting. So Mr. Butler would have said something in that meeting to make the JFF that they're trying to blame and the coach at least think about putting Leon Bailey on there. And even if the coach didn't ask, the coach has the right to just say, Leon Bailey, I'm going to call you, whether or not you come. If he doesn't come, we find a replacement. That's how some coach operates. That's how some coaches operate. Some coach would have still call him even if he don't want to go. The people might make it like the biggest thing. This is not going to be about Leon Bailey. I promise you that. We're not going to make this Copa America be about Leon Bailey. That's why we say, bro, for me see Leon Bailey in the squad the other day, that's why I come out and just wait till the squad drop. About 4 days, I don't do a show. Because I say, this is going to be the whole thing and I just don't want to go back and forth with it. Because it's so played out. It's so played out. So the man them actually I make it look like, no, Bailey is not there. He's not there, bro. He's not there, brother. And more time, bro. More time we have to listen on YouTube. Me enough people did come out and I say them have the plug and them a beat them chest on YouTube, bro. Them not have no source, bro. Them not have no source. I was just in my room, just looking at my phone and just looking at people lying online about yo people. May I telling you, may I telling you, now go look, yo, did you see on the squad? Come on, bro. You never know that Bailey was in the squad, bro. Chill. You don't have the plug, bro. They don't have the plug. Me did it in my bed and I watch them. But that's why I go so watch it. Me know say Bailey in the squad. All them attack on the screen. You can see it on the person on the screen. I'm say I'm not gonna come out with the dog fight about the squad. I'm just happy that Jamaica is at Copa America. I'm just excited that we're gonna be playing in Copa America. And fun, somebody is letting me know that Jamaica, historically, Jamaica tends to play better football in the United States. Jamaica tends to play better football in the United States. That's something that I didn't really look into. That's something I didn't really look into. So if Jamaica plays better football, our odds are really good. The funny thing is, last night, Richie Paul Sport, big up yourself. Anyway, you're there, my boss. We didn't do a live, so me and Richie Paul Sport and I think First Responder, then we are well a reason. And we were talking about the squad, and I was saying to First Responder, them Heimir Hutchison is not there, and I'm not gonna make this tournament be about it. I did question Alex Marshall. We were talking about that last night. We didn't do any live, but that's before the squad come out. I was saying that, but I think the coach took Alex Marshall as an attacking midfielder, basically. The coach must have seen something in him. Maybe he takes instructions very well. That's something that coaches really like. They like players who takes instructions. They like players who take instructions very well. And we're East Coast Reggae Boyz home. It's no coincidence. Whisper Love, Butler, Coolid, Ishmael, Pigeon Soup. Yeah, bro. The Butler thing is so played out, bro. Honestly, it's like it's really really played out. It's really really played out. But yeah, let's look how Jamaica stuck up. I think we got Damian Lowe there, Dishard Bernard, Richard King, Ethan Pinnock, the big man Ethan Pinnock. He's back. Ethan Pinnock. That's very important to see Ethan Pinnock back. I'm looking at his statistics this season, and he did very well. And here's a player that we're gonna really need to hold up defensively. I know Joel Latibodier wasn't there in one of the squads that got released. Yes, I understand the blunder. However, the players are actually there. Those are the actual players who are gonna be there. Whatever squad you have, no. And that's what we're talking about. No, people, it comes down to it. No, you remember I said to you guys, when Ethan Pinnock comes back into this team, we're gonna have to bench Joel Latibodier, Michael Hector, or Dishard Bernard. One of those guys will have to bench. One of those guys will have to bench. And I think it's going to be a tricky one for the coach. Maybe because Latibodier he's still a bit injured. Maybe he stays on the bench. Latibodier and Ethan Pinnock slots in there. It's quite interesting though, people. Remember, I called for Daniel Johnson to be out of the team. DJ, big up yourself. But I just know that, bro, where the team is right now, you're just not playing that level of football. We're not getting that productivity that we need to see out of a Daniel Johnson. A Daniel Johnson is a player that we know who can be aggressive on the attacking side of the football. But recently, Daniel Johnson playing for Jamaica has turned into this player who just passes the ball in two directions, back, side. That's it. And I think Coach Heimir Hallgrimsson gave Daniel Johnson his final chance to see if he can make the cut. Hence, it didn't work. The coach tend to be at least 2 steps behind me, at least 2 steps behind me. It always takes a few months before the coach actually do what I actually say. I called it. I called all those players. What I told you, I said Tavon Gray, I wanted to get. Before I started off about 4 players that we had to get out of the team. One was Demari Phillips. I said we had to get Demari Phillips out. Boom, he's gone. Javian Brown. We had to get Javian Brown out the team. He's gone. No, we said Daniel Johnson, Tavon Gray. They have to be out the team. They're out the team, bro. No, our team is. Remember, people. So what we're doing is we're removing liability. No disrespect. All these players. really good ball players, really good athletes, but we're trying to slim this down to the most effective 23-man squad we can have. When I talk about effective, I'm talking about depth. And now we're traveling on the high, I would say that we're carrying a lot of defenders. We're carrying a lot of defenders this time around. We're carrying a lot of defenders. But I think that's something where we could have brought a kid like Reed. We could have brought a kid like Reed. We could have brought a kid like Reed, but we didn't. I think the coach missed a trick there. People, hit the like button on the video. Avis says, well, you have Marshall. Yeah, well, so Marshall is an upgrade. I'm not saying that Marshall is an upgrade. I'm not the coach. As I said, Marshall wouldn't be in the team for me. But Marshall has been one of the best players in the JPL or the better players this season. So he's been rewarded for consistent play over an entire season. So I have to just work with that. Yeah, JT may agree, but him can't replace. That's the problem. Yeah. So there's a lot of people and people. Kevin Lambert is there. Latibo there is there. So you never know. I hope the coach just don't. As we say, we still need a solution with Damian Lowe. There in this Copa America, there has to be a solution there. But I don't know if this coach is confident. I don't think this coach is confident enough. I tell him, I don't think this coach confident at all to go into this game in Copa America with two slender kind of box-to-box midfielder in Casey Palmer and Kira Anderson. Because I looked at the game and I realized that Casey Palmer does most of the tackling, actually. And I would want to see more tackling from Kira Anderson. Because he has to understand international game is far from being a luxury midfielder. We need players like that to be fully active. Jonathan Russell was a player I was a bit disappointed not to see a Jonathan Russell in there. I think a Jonathan Russell could have been there for a Alex Marshall. But if he didn't pick Jonathan Russell for the two World Cup qualifiers who were against lesser opponent, where I think we could have got to see more of Jonathan Russell, then that tells you that the coach doesn't really have him high on his list of players that he needs out there. Reed over Marshall. Yeah, man, I would have gone with Reed, the youngster, as he's 17 years old, young player. I think that's a player for the future, and he wants to play that defensive midfield role. So I would have definitely gone for Reed on this occasion. But again, I give the coach that one. I gave him that one. He got it right with a Kaheem Dixon. Kaheem Dixon, people, if that kid gets on the field in Copa America, I promise you, he's going out there to basically put on a show. He's going out there to put on a show. He's going out there. Who would have over Marshall? You're going to Copa America with Marshall in your midfield, number 10. No, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? I'm not the coach. I'm just going as a supporter. Yeah, man. I'm trying special. They probably hear the squad up and probably fuming right now. But the Travis them man not like deal with the Lee and Bailey situation, and see just pop up again. But we have a Gold Cup. That's gonna be let me call Travis. Come on, say you probably have some strong words on this squad. Okay. Travis, we call back when you see that, man. Ecuador have Caicedo, Mexico. All right, people, what I want to say to you again is, right, I saw something in the highlights with Brazil and Mexico. Going into the Mexico game, I was thinking that Mexico is basically that team that they're going through a rough patch right now. I was thinking about Mexico going to a rough patch right now. What I've seen in that Brazil game is Mexico getting 2 chances out of nothing and scoring. This is how they always beat Jamaica, and we have to be very wary of that. Travis, big up yourself, Mbala. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, move on. Yeah, man. I'm on for a while, man. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Travis, step on the work, people. Yeah, so Mexico is a team that can still punish us because Jamaica still hasn't figured out how to play a 90 minutes of football where we're just on the ball, playing well and not giving up silly chances. Jamaica hasn't played a full 90 like that. And we're going to need, and this is why I think this Copa America will really stretch this Jamaican team. This Copa America here is going to really tell what our limitations are. Can we increase the threshold? We're playing at a level right now where we just played 2 weak opponents who kind of bothered us, but they didn't bother us with a Demari Gray. A Demari Gray out there for Jamaica against Dominican Republic and Dominica. Different results in those games, I'm assuming as well. We defended well in 2 games. We defended well. And people, remember, one of the goals was the goalkeeper hesitated, the ball came out on the line. The keeper hesitated to come off his line, and they scored. Another one was a brilliant free kick. We have to give credit to the youngster who kicked that free kick. Brilliant free kick to score on us. So I don't think outside of that little 10 minutes of just gingerness where Jamaica was chaotic, I think Jamaica played well. It was 2 goals that I think would have scored against anybody, really. So I don't really I don't come down as bad on the team. A performance is a performance, and people sometimes we're getting carried away. We are not there yet. A team like Copa America is gonna be the thing that really not get no notification. No know what going Fresh got it. Probably that's why a lot of people haven't get the notification, man. Yeah. So that's the thing. JT, bless up yourself, Dasha. JT, USA looked really good yesterday when they played Brazil. I'm sorry. Jamali still my starting keeper. Blake not ready. Yeah, as I said, I think the coach is bringing Andre Blake. He's bringing on Andre Blake basically like a coaching staff member. He's not there to keep, really. I think he's just there as a mentor for those other goalkeepers. He's there for those. That's what he's there for. So I don't see him keeping Jamali. Wait, hope he can bounce back because this is something that can now play on the mind of people. You know what I mean? So on the mind of the keeper. So it just looks really good. JT, I have said it long ago. There is no player on planet Earth who is bigger than a national team. We cannot afford to let toxic people disrupt the team chemistry. Run with the native people. Them, yo, bro. That's why I said I didn't do a stream for 4 days, bro. Like I know people are just gonna be out here. It's gonna be like zombie mad rush. Like you just it's gonna be a mad rush. Like you see, and I'm like okay, bro. We still have a team, and we still have a pretty decent head coach, and we're heading into Copa America. Leon Bailey do what he wants to do. We're heading into Copa America as a team. That's why I'm in a really business. So anybody want to drive this and they keep driving it. Leon Bailey upon the squad. The name never spelled right. And yo, whatever, bro. Jamaica is playing. We're going to be playing Mexico in a few weeks. We're going to be playing Mexico and it's Copa America on our screens. Jamaica. Players like Ronaldo Cephas, players like Demari Gray, Mikel Antonio, who wants to win something for Jamaica, Shamar Nicholson, who's in very good nick right now, scoring a lot of goals internationally, a hungry Kahim Dixon, ready to make his name, take his claim, stake his claim on the international stage. So there are going to be a lot of young lives out there that's going to get changed in Copa America as well. A Dexter Lambekisa getting to play on a stage like this, he's going to want to perform well. A player like John Bell, I think the moment John Bell peeks into this team, John Bell starts to dig away at Greg Lee's playing time. People might not like to hear that right now. When John Bell gets on the field, people, I promise you, he's going to start to dig into whoever is playing that left back's playing time. I'm telling you, I'm really high on this player, John Bell. I think he has a few qualities that matches the international game. We still know the midfield is a problem. We still know that the midfield is a problem, but Jamaica hasn't been playing with a midfield. So guess what? Saddle up, ready up, ready up. We're gonna play. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing the same way we've been playing, getting the results, hitting teams on the counter attack. That's how this Jamaica team seems to get most of its traction. Just hitting teams on counter, quick strikes down the wing. That's basically how we get it done. So I think this is how we're gonna get it done in Copa America. And as I said, I always give Coach Heimir Hallgrims credit for this specific thing. He is a good game planner. He plans very well for games. He plans very well for games. Very, very well. He plans for games. And I give him a lot of credit for that. And that's a coach where he also understands tournaments. Took Iceland to a few tournaments. He understands tournaments. Wes Harding is in the team now. People, the fans has been hunkering down. Wes Harding is in the team. Wes Harding is not your typical right back. However, Wes Harding gives you a dual threat. Wes Harding gives you a dual threat, as he can play that center back position and he can play the right back position. Versatility. And I think those are kind of the coach kind of players, workman-like players who give you that versatility, where if I need you to shape up and head into the right back position, the coach can do that. So that's what he's shaping up to be. Bobby Reed. So we're gonna come down to now a Bobby Reed and a Ronaldo Cephas. I hope this is not a situation though in this Copa America where Bobby Reed and Ronaldo Cephas, where Ronaldo Cephas has to sit on the bench. This is where I want to see how good Coach Heimir is at fitting pieces on the field. Because people, my imagination for this Jamaica team, right, is basically two wing backs occupied with Demari Gray and Ronaldo Cephas. I think that gives Jamaica a very good chance of something happening on either side of the field. You have a Demari Gray who can cut in and shoot. You have a Ronaldo Cephas on one wing who can run past a player. And Ronaldo Cephas is not going to just cut in and shoot now, because he's going to have to stay out wide, because now you have your center forward in the middle. And for me, that's a menacing formation. And that's what I think Jamaica need to think about. Is Ronaldo Cephas on the right and Demari Gray on the left. That's how we have to look at this. Get the best players on the field. Fact, JT, you're smart. Gray and Cephas has to link up, bro. Las Blancos is so obvious. It's so obvious. Like, I hear people about bring on Cephas as a threat off the bench. Brother, I want my threat. On the field. Me need my threat on the back of field to annihilate my opponent. That's what me need. Me need Cephas we out there create problem, make the opponent cause mistakes to the opponent, and things happen for my team. Not Cephas on the bench till we start losing. Then Cephas go on and he make 2 run, and the opponents say, okay, this is a dangerous player. We need to lock him down. That's what they're gonna do to him. If you bring Cephas off the bench, what's gonna happen is opponents are just gonna look at him and be like, okay, make 2 bad run, 2 switch side, link up, mark up on him. You have to go do that. You have to go do that. So we don't want them have to actually play Cephas for a whole half or 60 minutes where he just keeps coming at them. And guess what? If they try to then slide maybe a midfielder to double team on Cephas, I think that's where we can get a little more penetration down the middle, where also a Demari Gray gets his one-on-one on the left-hand side, and a Mikel Antonio or a Shamar Nichols is one-on-one with the centre-back, because now the wing-backs are fully occupied. The wing-backs are now fully occupied, and all you have in front of you is Caicedo and a centre-back. And I would live with that. I would live with that. And when you play, listen, Ronaldo Cephas, that's how Ecuador players are. Ecuador have a few of those Ronaldo Cephas players. If you're going to find a Ronaldo Cephas in some of those teams, is in Ecuador. They have some of those players down there in Ecuador. So we're going to come up against starch competition when we go up against Ecuador. Yeah, man. Owen, him, Leon Bailey were listed in those spots. Cephas need to be outlet for Demari. Yeah, man. We need him out there, man. J-Ross says, I can work with that because the midfield need Bobby. Go have a long tournament. JT, with Cephas and Gray on the field, one times open up chance to kill the game. That's what I say, brother. It's like, me no want to hear we say, I could wait to see if we can wait till the end to win. No. And I need that to work, because I just believe that Cephas can play out there. And soon as Cephas can take the ball and run down the field, opponents are going to have to adjust. And any adjustment they make defensively, that's when you start seeing space opening up for Demari Gray. And we know Demari Gray just needs a little sniffer. Just a sniff at goal and he gets in there. So that's what we need from Demari Gray and those guys out there. I'm looking forward to the tournament. Not really concerned. As I said, just if we had a player like a Ravel Morris, so that would have just solve our problem. Wouldn't completely solve our problem, but we would have to at least be halfway there. We don't have the player, but life goes on. Just like we said, we don't have a Leon Bailey, and we continue moving. Marcus Garvey says, if Damian Lowe and Dre Blake, who had gone through the more than out of the players, can yourself available. Yeah, man. So Ethan Pinnock being there is very important for me. Ethan Pinnock being there, people, is very, very important. I don't know about anybody, but for me, Ethan Pinnock in this team is highly important. Highly important. Because we don't want to sit there and let a player like that slip away. Ethan Pinnock is playing well in the Prem. So we need him in this Jamaican national team. And I think if we're gonna do well in that tournament, Ethan Pinnock is gonna be instrumental. Midfield, Bobby Riquera, and if Cephas holds up his head. Yeah, man, and Joseph Brown. That's one of the things where I'm kind of disappointed. To water. So that's one of the things where I was a bit disappointed. I thought the coach would work with Ronaldo Cephas a bit more. I think the coach can work with him and help him to just be more aware and just be a little bit more steady in his thinking when he gets into the final third. But how you get him to do that, I don't really know, man. I don't know how you get him to do that right now. They have to just try to help him as much as they can. JT, the world knows that's how we play. So what's the next plan? Yeah, it's big of yourself. What's the next plan? I hope the coach have another way to play as well. And that means that Avis, I hope the coach also has other ways of playing. I hope it's not just one way of playing. So I hope that's not we're just not. Leon should play for Villa, Phoenix, and leave Jamaica alone. We don't want Leon back. Yeah, man. Bro, I'm so over Leon Bailey on Jamaica. I me say, bro, he's a cloud chaser, bro. He's a cloud chaser. When he went to the national stadium, that was all for publicity. It's almost like he wants to like taunt the team or taunt the fans. That's what he's doing basically. Like when him go to the stadium, come on, like the team is playing and you're not suiting up for your country and you're in the stadium, like it's weird, bro. I don't know. For most people, that might not be nothing. For me, that's weird. That's really really weird. So I just don't want to associate with Leon Bailey at this point when it comes on to that. But we have the Reza Boss here. So when man like Reza Boss pull up, say that's why I said I want football people on today because we're here to talk about football. Reza Boss, exciting times ahead. Not only Jamaican football, but we're gonna be in a few days. We're talking about the Euros, top level European football game. But let's not dive into that. The squad is out. I'm okay with it. We had a talk last night extensively before the team dropped, and it turned out where even the Alex Marshall, where we discussed about him coming back and being in the team, that wasn't something that I really liked. No, the Omari Hutchinson thing, we know that a lot of people are going to be disappointed. But what I'm trying to say to some of the fans, let's not lose sight of the goal and the mission here. If you're out there on the battlefield, you're going to lose soldiers. That's why there are so many memorial grounds where people lose their lives in war. Casualties, they're considered casualties. They're gonna be casualties. Leon Bailey is just one of the casualties. What we shouldn't allow is our team becoming the casualties of other people's expectations and their little dice game with them of a play. Let's focus on Jamaica and going forward. I love the team, basically, reason why. So I'm okay.
I'm glad to hear it, JT. Viewers and subscribers, a warm welcome to one and all Reason Boss from Rich Post Sports. Always happy to join Sports Prophecy to chop up on reason about matters football. JT, you just mentioned something, and I don't know what the lay of the land has been in the chat. All of this excessive pressure and talk and chat and rumor mongering about the likes of the Nelsons, the Masons, the Amaris coming into the team, parachuted in suddenly from a clear blue sky. How does that benefit the Jamaican national team when you reflect on the need for a band of brothers working together? Coach Heimir has called a core and consistently called in a number of players to do the job, and they've been pretty successful. How do you explain these aforementioned players coming into the team having not played a solitary game or a handful of games in the case of Omari and expecting everything to run sweetly? Why can't we as Jamaican fans, when it's all said and done, take your stance and trust the process, support the teams, and not lose sight of the vision, camaraderie, unity, and working hard to get ourselves to that 2026 World Cup via the Copa America? Lest we not forget. And I said, man, that's, one and only Cataract. Big up yourself, Captain Cataract. Lest we forget that 3-2 in Toronto. JT, do you remember that performance? My lord, my lord. In a nutshell though, JT, all of this talk about these other players coming in, sometimes it takes our eye off the ball. The players who are operating right now need the fans' attention, love, respect, and support. First and foremost, go on, you, sir.
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying. The team is picked. Whoever is there, I'm with it. I'm not gonna let the Leon Bailey derail what we have going on here. And I see that Craig Butler is in a derail mode. He wants it's just he breathes on this kind of oxygen. Whenever a squad drops, he just comes for the oxygen in the room and says, "Look at me," you know. And it's more about Jamaica. And in the same sentences, they will tell you that they are so patriotic. And I'm not seeing it. No, the noise should be lowered. And the fans, this is why sports prophecy. This is why we're always gonna try to do it this way. I didn't do any stream for the past 4 days because I know it's gonna be hyena. It's gonna be a hyena fest with this kind of information. Bailey not in the team, and now I want to get back to the mission ahead. Jamaica, our chances, bringing in new players. I think it's based on some of our deficiencies. Reason, boss, why even having an Omari Hutchinson, even though fans are being hopeful, it's exciting to think about. It's exciting to think about.
No doubt, JT, no doubt about it. However, and maybe I need to check myself in the mirror, because personally, I've been brought up on decades of not just speculation. When I came to the social media space regarding the Reggae Boyz, and it's an anniversary for me, 2020, Euro 2020, is when I began looking for alternatives, when I saw the way that these English players, the Sackers of this world, the Rashfords, were treated outrageously so. And when I came into the space, the Jamaican space, I said, and I've maintained it, and it's proof positive today, 2024, June, there are challenges and opportunities that present themselves to Jamaica as a footballing nation. We've got talented players, but there's a lot of work to do. And if you're going to be having the various dramas that involve the likes of certain men that you've made mention of, it's not going to be easy. Excuse me. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I'm trying to focus on the game of football itself. And let's call a spade a spade. The reason, boss, I don't know if Cataract would agree with me. I'm telling you where I am at the moment, Cataract, because I remember joining Cataract and seeing his love and passion for the game. He was a man who was on his deathbed with only one wish: to see a Reggae Boyz team, men's team, at a World Cup. That's not too much to ask, but it's not an easy road. Now, I just get the impression that sometimes people feel that the Reggae Boyz are better than the sum of their parts. Sometimes I think that the expectation levels are simply too high based on what we have before us. I don't expect Omari Hutchinson this season to be jumping to a Jamaican Reggae Boyz call. Not at all. Why? Simply put, logistics-wise, priority-wise, it's just not going to necessarily happen out of a clear blue sky. The Reggae Boyz will have to fight and work some more. This old Jamaica no problem attitude is not going to cut it if we're going to climb the hill and make it. We've got to let Coach Heimir and the team do what they can do best, build upon their performances. World Cup qualification, 2 games played, 2 games won. The manner of the performance could leave something to be desired, but the bottom line is 6 points in the bag. Now we come to Copa America. Jamaica are there. Let's trust and encourage these players to learn, grow, and enjoy the forthcoming experience. Cataract, if you want to come in, and I know you've got a whole heap of things to say, I know the viewers and subscribers and JT have plenty to say. I've got much to say, but first, I'm going to use my 2 ears and do some listening.
All right, Cataract.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Cataract the Oligarch, Hotel Mogul, office supplies. If you need office supplies, chairs, furnitures, paper, pen.
So you're diving into the accessory business now.
Yes, I am.
Accessories.
I am. Yes.
I want to dive in and see if he's part of the rumor mongering. Cataract, enough of the introduction. When you're ready, I want to know if you feel this.
I listen to you. I listen to you without interruption. In the sound world, what we say is lock off your sound till a year time to play again. Good. All right. So, yes. Just contact Cataract. If you have those needs. Official distributor for Pentel. Yeah, that's how we do it. Official distributor for Pentel pens, markers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cataract. That's what I do now. Keeping me busy. That's why I haven't been on Sports Prophecy. But
we haven't been live either, so.
Yeah, you have been live. I've watched the lives over the weekend, the Sunday, the game, the post game.
The game was Sunday. Today is Thursday.
Yes, I
It
watched
was the
some
last
of your,
time I was live was Sunday.
delusion. I watched some of your delusional post analysis, and I want to attack after, but I'm going to deal with it first. I'm going to attack Manning's man. I'm going to attack Military Goon. I'm going to attack JT for all on a delusional thing about this international window. But to the squad, Netflix. JFF, if you want to make money, just call in Netflix. Make them just follow you around. Because soap operas are us. It's an Iron Man. I don't know how hard it is to name 26 players. Imagine if we had to name a 60-man pool. We're naming players, announcing them, and players are calling in. Man is deleting, cut, and then man finds somebody else and paste on live TV. The launch was a good idea. It was a good concept. It was the concept of 876 stream. And I'm an equal opportunity beater. And look at all lamp on media pass. I don't know what all lamp on media pass metal on the flop. It was a disastrous production, 876 stream. At the venue, we could not hear. There were a lot of feedback.
I heard the coach say something about music.
The music, we were next door to a nightclub that turned on their music loud.
Oh my
He couldn't hear the questions. He couldn't answer. You clearly did not do any pre-production logistics because you would know that nobody in the venue could hear anything, right? Okay. And in fact, there is an area in there. If you had contacted Cataract to be the producer and the sound engineer, I would have told you that you should have put it in the little gift shop that Usain Bolt has, because that's glass surrounded. Do it from in there, and then we would have broadcasted it outside. Yeah. So the production was a total flop, total disaster. The squad announcement was a disaster. You announcing players, and as the coach is making a different announcement than what the graphic is going up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 26 players. I mean, how hard is this?
Who was responsible for that?
Simon and 876 Stream. Graham, Garrett Southgate, he announced the 26-man squad. It was very quick. The BBC, goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, that. You didn't hear him announce, Lewis Dunk, and then hold on. No. Lewis Dunk is not in the side. Actually, it's Ben White from Arsenal. And I keep saying this because this happens all the time. We name a team, and by the time the YouTubers go live, there are changes to the squad that is named. Every single time.
Cataract, put a pin in it for a second. I'd like to ask you, Cataract, you're close, I don't know how close you are. Can you please explain to me in London, England, explain to JT, explain to me, please, and the viewers, why these things happen? Is it just simply a lack of professionalism? Is Coach Heimir and the coaching staff under pressure to get out a good-looking 26-man team, knowing full well that certain players are not going to actually be in camp? Can you explain, if you know the reason why these things happen? Because you've just compared it to England. It's not a good look, and I just wonder what's going on. What a go on?
I just wonder if I could finish my report from the launch. That's what I wonder. If I could finish my report. No, the food was good. There was an open bar for the guests. That was good. You know, the guests were properly fed and properly watered. A plus for that. You know, Cataract likes her food. There's no patties there, but hey, properly fed, properly watered, well seated, comfortable seating. But it was actually not a good venue for a launch. Logistically, it was not. And because of how it is, it made a lot of things very difficult. So when you're selecting venues, you have to, you need a producer. You need somebody who knows. You need somebody who knows to. You need somebody who knows to. You need somebody who knows to. What you call it again now? Who knows to produce and curate an event and be able to look at logistics, because logistics is important. So we had the launch in Traction Records, Usain Bolt Traction Records, and we had the press conference in the Mecca nightclub.
What
was going on?
Wait, you had the press conference in Mecca nightclub?
Yes.
Holy crap.
With the club at one.
No, because I heard the coach was like, I can't even, like, the coach was saying he can't hear himself.
The big bass up here. You can't, nobody could hear anything. I mean, look.
What, the nightclub was operating at the time? Is that what you guys are saying?
Yes. You don't get it. That's what we say. You don't understand English language. The only thing that happened is that people were dancing in front of us, you know what I mean? But the nightclub has a couple of sections. So we were in one section, and then everywhere else, music, a big bass line, a beat. The lighting wasn't good because it was club lighting, which is colored and stuff like that. And I'm being critical. But again, I said the food and drink was good. It started on time at 8 p.m. Very punctual. Have to give them that. But I guess that's because it's television. There was one other thing that really irked me. We had the launch, including the kit launch. Why the hell was the kit launched to soca music? Like a beer R&B and hip hop and soca play till Cataract they just get upset and McCall the manager and say, yo, this can't work no more. I hear one more soca song and I'm gonna behave like a real ultra hooligan. I had to demand dancehall, reggae. There was no Bob Marley. Not one Bob Marley song was played. No Panic. No Leela Ikea. No Dennis Brown. No Beres. No Bojo. No Bunty. No Beanie. No Spragger. None of all these dub plates that you guys claim they cut and is a part of it. None of that was played.
All one nation.
And mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. That's what they came out to, you know what I mean? So, whoever did the produce in 876 is an epic fail. The name of the team is Reggae Boyz. Reggae Boyz. They had 3 hummingbirds on the shirt, my friend. I mean, like, Bonner. Big up yourself. Isn't that a clue to say the song you should come out to was 3 little birds? Don't worry about a thing. Yeah. I want to give positive remarks to the press conference itself. Not the press conference part of it, not the launch. A lot of technical details were given. It was well thought out, so I give Simon an A for that, and the technical team an A plus. A plus. And that is the after, not the launch. This is the after. I tell you why. John Wall and Marion Gordon, they spoke about our opponents. They broke it down. They told us the danger men, so we can all go Google and look them up and get ready. I thought Marion Gordon and John Wall did an excellent job. I've never heard the goalkeeper coach speak, but when Cataract asked him the question, representing, of course, the local correspondent for Dre Anyweather Sports and Sports Prophecy TV, and when I asked the question regarding the choice of the backup goalkeepers in terms of Shaquan Davis and Konoya Boyce Clark. He said, good question. He gave an excellent answer. He said he's looking for goalkeepers that are good with their feet. That's the modern game. Competent shot stoppers. Those are the two main criteria. So that's away from the usual Jamaica where we have like Tall P. You remember Barrett, the tall goalkeepers, crossing. I didn't hear, being demanding in your box and crossing that one. They're looking for shot stoppers and those that can play with their feet out. Which I suspect meaning using 11 men. So I really enjoyed that. I really think that's an A for the team. A plus. A. It was a different press conference. I want to give Coach Heimir Hutchison an A for the press conference. But Heimir, so maybe because it's Cataract who asked. So all you other little YouTubers, what did I ask the coach about why man no in our squad? And the coach said you're in a confident about that. When Cataract asks, the coach answers. Big up Coach Heimir. And for those who would have listened to the whole press conference, I inquired about the non-inclusion of Kemar Roof and the non-inclusion of two players I asked about. Oh, Daniel Johnson. I forgot about John Russell, right? And I asked about the sudden inclusion of Wes Harding. And the coach answered fully and fulsomely. Very honest answers, I believe. He said Kemar Roof asked not to be included because he's match rusty, but he will be ready for Nations League in September. And he was honest with the coach that he played a couple of games and he said he didn't quite feel himself. And therefore he didn't want to come if he couldn't give 100%. He said Wes Harding was screaming on the phone and video call and jumping up, yes, like a little child in a candy shop. He never seen a player being so excited for a call up in his life. Big up Wes Harding. We know you love Jamaica. Really hard man. Yeah, man. Down there in Millwall, in the den. That's what they call it, in the den. Down there in Kent. Not a easy place. One of the most racist grounds you can go. Real rough. And he spoke about Daniel Johnson to say that Daniel Johnson really has not been in the squad for 1/3 of the season. And that's what I want. We want you to be honest. Just tell me why. Yo, you're not playing a ball game. So you're not in that squad. And then when they bring you call look why you didn't look ready. That's the translation from Icelandic to Jamaica. And we accept that because we all saw that Daniel kind of struggled and had below par performances in this window. Right? So I think the answers for the press conference I think it's the best press conference I've been to. It's the best press conference I've been to. Let down by the logistics and let down by the epic fail at the reveal. You know what I mean? So I hope I answered some of your questions, and then we can get on to some other things. Members of the media, if you come late, you can't bother push up and ask questions and ask the coach the same question with Cataract other people ask. The coach will get annoyed. Let's hear your retort.
Thank you for your insights, Cataract. Much appreciated. I know you've got a passion for the game and good knowledge, respect, and well done for praising Coach Heimir. Sometimes he's been coming on the increasing stick, and I've been wondering exactly why. What's your take, or did anyone ask or get insight into Coach Heimir and the staff's attitude? Are they aware of the rumor mill with the likes of purported players who are looking to be parachuted into the Reggae Boyz out of a clear blue sky? Are they aware of the anticipation where, in fact, reality may not match these expectations? How useful do you think it is? And are the coaching staff aware of the anticipation for the arrivals of certain players that you're familiar with?
No, I Those questions were not asked. So there was no question about Mason Greenwood, no question about Reece Nelson, and thankfully no idiotic question about Emil Smith Rowe. There was no question about Omari Hutchinson. There was no question about Bailey Kadamati. I think our media has matured. You don't ask questions to which you already know the answer. Then now come. Then passport then already. So there's no need to ask those questions. I think they focused on players who they knew had passports, and we kind of already know that Bailey Kadamati accepted England on the 19 call-up, and we already... Oh, the only question would have been Omari Hutchinson, really. Because why is a player chilling in Jamaica? Clearly, there's no... He loves Jamaica. He paraded his Jamaican flag. Now he's out here chilling in a 5-star hotel, taking pictures and selfies. But yet he doesn't want to kick a football for Jamaica. Something doesn't add up. So none of those questions were asked. Thankfully, because I don't think that is the appropriate forum.
I hear you loud and clear. In these forums, you're on Sports Prophecy here. Rich Post Sports doesn't peddle. I must say, I hear some of these things. And when I hear it in social media, I think, how much legs and credibility do these things have? I've heard the likes of Simon, Reggae Boyz Commentary, Preston, squarely say straight and forward, Reggae Boyz Commentary is all about credible source information. All the rumor mill business, no time for it. Likewise with the Rich Post Reasons Boss. I have very little time for it. Why do these rumors, and more than rumors sometimes, persist? Is it just for clicks? Is it building up anticipation in the fans' hearts because they don't trust or have faith in the existing players? I think sometimes it detracts from the focus on the players. And I wonder if it actually comes through to the players that sometimes wonder, well, is our place in jeopardy? Do people not like what we're doing? I think that energy should be focused on ensuring that these players get the best that they can out of each other as a band of brothers. What say you?
Okay. I will say the following, and I am not going to speculate. I believe that the decision to suspend Leon Bailey adversely affected us seeing one or two new faces. I really do believe that. I think his petulance by inviting the players who we are interested in having join us and said, yeah, I'm a virgin them, I'm a dog them, was kind of a rubbing it in your face thing. That's my belief. So I believe that outside happenings, which would have been the JFF and Butler, has thrown off the recruitment. Who wants to come into Pasa? But I believe that the coach has answered honestly, and some of those are things that I know. Mason Greenwood has to get his club a permanent contract first before he thinks about international football. And that is okay. I don't know about Omari Hutchinson. Bailey Kadamati is a massive loss and a clear foul-up, because had we played those under 23 games in Spain, if you remember, we canceled them twice. He would have had several under 20 caps for Jamaica.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen, Cataract. And if it didn't happen, the player still has to make the move to play for Jamaica. It cannot just be. It's a relationship. Well, it didn't happen. The under 23s, he still got the opportunity to come in and play for a Jamaica, and he chose the England U19. So those are situations where I cannot agree with the blame being on either the federation or the coach.
Sir, I did not mention the coach in my mouth. I said the federation, and let me tell you why. If you try to take a plane, a job call you 2 times and say, yo, you start work Monday, and when you get ready for turn up Monday, players left Leicester left other places and came to London thinking they were going to fly. And then at the last minute, they were told that this is off. And it happened twice. You don't think that that has an effect on wondering what kind of party shop?
You have to get some information on that.
You don't have to get any information. I'm telling you that the first time, hold on, in December.
That doesn't sound correct.
No, it doesn't matter how it sounds. It sounds ridiculous. And I'm telling you, in December, we were to have the under 23 go to Spain, right? To play a 2-match tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen. When we asked about it, when we had the January or February window, whatever it was, and I asked the question, they were told there were not enough players. The players were still in season and it was not an international window. Remember that. They said December was not an international window and the players couldn't get released. I know that players got released and players asked for their release, but I left that alone. The next time they were supposed to go was in March when we had the Nations League semi-final window with Canada. And then John Wall and the under 20 were supposed to go, and the John Wall had to be with the main coach, the main team, and he had agreed for a coach, a Spanish coach, to take charge of the team. And it didn't happen because they could not agree financial and whatever terms with the coach in Spain, or they didn't agree with that happening. So the players had the release because it was an international window and it didn't come through. And I'm saying, having been stood up twice, I think the youth is well within his rights.
But he wasn't the only player that was stood up and wasn't called back.
But he was the one that was called up to the national team.
Okay. I think Billy Cadamartri just didn't feel that it was the best for his career. And he chose what's best for him. I look at it. There are things in life as well where if you want it enough, you will go get it. Sir Richard, Rizzo Boss, you know, if you're over there in England and you miss a flight, you probably have had a girl stood you up before, and it was probably for good reasons. And do you hate them for the rest of your life? If you really like her, you're gonna make an effort. What I'm saying, I didn't say that. I was just
using hate.
Yeah, I'm just using.
Use the word hate.
No, but bro, I know he didn't say that. I'm using my own explanation. Reason, boss.
Analogy.
Analogy. He could have taken a step to play for Jamaica. What bigger game? The Omar Hutchinson thing. They said him and his camp 18 months. It's past 18 months and we're still clamoring for Omar Hutchinson. You asked about is because what people seen what he has done at Ipswich this season. I think a lot of people envision that or imagine having him in the Jamaican team, including myself. Really talented player. But you see, Instagram is a big part of what drives this propaganda machine. The people them just want to see Omar Hutchinson in front of a coconut stand. A Jamaican them say, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm there yard, I'm there on the ground. I'm ready. Like, I don't think people ever ask themselves, does Omar Hutchinson see Jamaica as a vacation getaway? You see me? He's been there before. He probably has family there and he likes it. I didn't buy into that the player was there because Omar Hutchinson already had his passport. And I'm thinking, why would he be in Jamaica so early in the first place? If he's gonna play, usually players want to do the other things that they need to do and then get to Jamaica right before camp. Try to do something else. So Mikel Antonio did something else and will be back. So Omar Hutchinson, Reese Nelson, as I said, another thing. But we move past that. Still think the coach could have dropped one of the center backs. We're center back heavy, but I understand the versatility there with a Kevin Lambert, a Damian Lowe, and a Wes Harding. Cataract, a player. I don't know if you know anything about the player Reason Boss. Wes Harding. He's a silent addition to that right back position.
So the coach was clear. He said that the reason for Wes Harding's inclusion was that on their scouting, They on their
Yeah, they were quite physical.
they said it's physical. There is a physical player. He's a physical player, and our opponents, particularly Ecuador and Venezuela, are strong physical teams,
Yep.
and therefore he wanted some brute force in the back line. And I think that is why he would have made the team over at Javane Brown. Right? That may have been what the coach is trying to explain to us.
Over Tavon Gray, you mean?
Well, Tavon Gray had a shocker in both
He
games.
came in for Tavon Gray.
Yeah, but Tavon Gray was stinking up the joint. And so it would be, obviously, you would then go back to who you had, which would have been Javane, but he chose to make a jump on another move. Some Javon players asked what he said about Daniel Johnson. I'm saying he said about Daniel Johnson that he's match rusty and he hasn't played competitive football for 1/3 of the season. He's been on the bench without a minute. And so he didn't feel, he wanted to look at him because he considers Daniel Johnson to be part of the core of the Jamaica, the team since he has been here. And therefore it's regretted, but he said both the player agreed when they looked at him that he wasn't up to his usual standard.
Yeah. And Reason Boss.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Your take on
Well,
that.
well, regarding Wes Harding, I must say he's one of the few Jamaican players, Reggae Boyz players, that I've not had the pleasure of watching live. I've heard a lot about Wes Harding. So, and I've heard him interviewed. Sounded a very level-headed, calm individual. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. He's in the squad. In your opinion, first things first, is he good enough to gain a starting berth? And if so, will it be in defense or will he form part of a robust midfield? The second question I'm going to ask involves the midfield. And Cataract, I wanted to direct it at yourself as well as JT and the viewers and subscribers to Sports Prophecy and, of course, Rich Post Sports give the channel a strength. Here what? The Jamaican midfield. I thought 4 years ago that with Premier and Championship level players, the likes of a Ravel Morrison, they would be more than good enough to compete and show a clean pair of heels to our CONCACAF rivals. Over the subsequent 4 years, I've had a bit of a culture shock. Cataract, have you always seen Jamaica's midfield as a strength or the reverse, a distinct weakness, particularly since France 1998? Any which way you cut it, our midfield going forward is going to be absolutely crucial to our hopes and ambitions in Copa and in World Cup qualifications when we get to those three groups of four, when we need to top the group to head over to the 2026 World Cup. Have you always had a concern about the Reggae Boyz midfield since 98, or have you actually seen it stronger than it currently is? I've been underwhelmed by it, and it's going to be another challenge coming into this Copa tournament.
I'll let you continue. I have a guess here.
Yeah. So Daniel Johnson, Reason Boss, is a player that I thought should be making an exit out of the team, as not because he's not a good player, it's because of where the level he's playing at currently. This is what people need to know. This is not the Daniel Johnson that first got into Jamaica's team. Aggressive, want to take on players, driving the ball, wants to be around the free kick. He's in control. No, this Daniel Johnson feels like he's hiding in the game. Like, I'm out here, but I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to be out here. Let me just do this right so the coach don't look at me when substitution time come. That's how I felt. I needed the Daniel Johnson that says I deserve to be out here. Let's move this ball forward. The Daniel Johnson that played against a Saudi Arabia team, where he was menacing in that game, he's lost that. Playing the sport myself, that's something that I ran into, that I feel like a lot of athletes underestimate the power of confidence. Your confidence can be so low as a football player where you can't do anything right. It feels like you're not even supposed to be out there. You start questioning yourself. Am I still good? But it's your confidence. When you start scoring, if you're a goal scorer, you start feeling like you belong there. When you start making your runs, making your passes, tracking back as a midfielder, you feel like your fitness is in touch with your touch. You're in sync. A right back, you're tracking back. You're not getting turned by wingers. You understand the whole positioning. You start feeling better as a player. But if those things are not happening and it's coming up that you're the fault, that can really crush a player. And I think that started at his club, where he moved from Preston North End, and from there hasn't really settled, been still a bit busy, haven't really settled down. Daniel Johnson, for you.
Well, Daniel Johnson, I must say, the player that you described playing against Saudi Arabia, my lord, I have not recognized that player. I think I've caught the DJ on the slide. I saw DJ playing under Suchman on the tapper.
Yeah.
But subsequently, it's been a lot of, as we've heard ad nauseum, as Stan Kroenke would say, sideways, back way, sideway, back, hiding in a game. It's not the Daniel Johnson that, as you said, you saw in the early days. And let me just segue into this, JT. And I wonder.
I wanted to stay on the field. I don't want to segue. I want to say this about the midfield, right?
Go ahead.
I think DJ is one of those players who suffered from the quota system. Should have been recruited a long time ago from he was at Aston Villa. I also agree with the... Go ahead, gentlemen.
He's a busy bee. The man mute himself. JT, I'm looking forward to hearing what Cataract has to say. And let's not forget the views and subscribers to Sports Prophecy. I'm sure that there's comment sections, comments flying around, and we don't want to miss out on those. I
want to give you a comment, Sir Richard. Yeah, people, hit the like button on the video, people. Hit the like button on the video, man. Hit the like button on the video, people. Subscribe. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe, people. Hit the like button on the video.
A football we are chop up, yes, a football we are chop up. Rich Post Sports is Reason Boss and Sports Prophecy, giving us strength to each other. Football we are chop up. Yes, JT. Well, go on.
There was a question here. Let me see. By Owen. I think he said we should have gotten DJ when he was younger. JFF dropped the ball. DJ days are over as an impact player. It is what it is. We are seeing how difficult it is to get players when they're younger as well. We're running into that as well, where the decision making for players are not as easy as we would think.
Big time. Amari is an absolute prime case in point. And there's other players that come to mind that we've mentioned in the show and, of course, mentioned across social media. And that's part of the challenge that Jamaica faces, as well as potential opportunities. When you've got players in the peak, and some not even approaching their peak as yet, but we can see the undoubted talent that they have playing at club level. To have these players make the decision to commit, like a Lembakisa. And Lembakisa, we've got to say, respect. A Deshaun Bernard, respect, because they have said, yeah, we're in it right now, and we've made our decision and we're sticking with it. I think these are great additions. A Demarai Gray, who's hit the ground running, great addition to the Reggae Boyz. But JT, the segue I was mentioning, and I know you're going to have something to say about it, but I'm sure you're going to come with a nuance, but shooting from the lip and from the heart. When a DJ is called up and called up and called up and plays in a particular way, the manager, in this case, Heimir, is he squarely responsible for the performances of a DJ, having given apparently, supposedly instructions to pass sideways, if in doubt, and even not, if not in doubt, pass backwards, time and time again, when we want to promote and push the ball forward offensively, hopefully, which will entertain and give even more hope to the Jamaican fans? Is it the manager's remit and his responsibility? He's taken the decision here to drop DJ for the Copa America. Maybe he's reflected on our thoughts and views and called a spade and made the tough decision to make a move, though with the likes of Kevin Langbert, I don't know, and Joel, of course, returning. I'm not sure how far we go forward. As again, I say, the midfield area, JT, is a delicate situation. We simply don't seem to have the quality that we'd love to aspire for. We see club football. It's not on the same level. JT.
Yeah, we just don't get to that level, and that's what the fans have been hoping for Jamaica to finally make that step, and that's where we thought getting players in like Leon Bailey and all those guys were here to change the game, where Jamaica start getting more cutting edge players, where we can play a higher level of football. That hasn't been happening, but we slowly see slight improvement, because the team was so messy as far as structure, core, continuity. All those things weren't in place. It took the coach time to build up from scratch. He didn't receive a team. People have to understand, he didn't receive a winning team. He received a team in shambles. So I do take those things into consideration, but it doesn't prevent me from questioning the coach's ability to make substitutions effectively. I'm sticking to that because I've seen it. It has cost us 2 games already. And I've asked the coach about this in the press conference. I said, I thought your substitution was a bit chaotic in that US game. Players lose focus. We don't know who's really the captain anymore. That's what happens. So Jamaica broke down in focus in the Dominica game, slowly got it back on track. But at the end of the day, I still think we won that game comfortably.
From where Jamaica are coming from after that octagonal campaign and the years preceding that to where we are now, Reason Boss is in no doubt at all. We have made significant strides. I feel far more comfortable. This is not the roller coaster ride where your heart sinks time after time when you don't know if you're coming or going. When you've got a coach that actually speaks to the entire group, that's a plus. When you've got a press conference, as Katarak alluded to, where the coach actually hears the questions, acknowledges the questions, and lo and behold, answers the questions. When you've got the likes of a Simon Preston providing a professionally organized, arranged press conference, and the coach of the Reggae Boyz can come through with some question and answers, it's a big jump, and long may that continue. Long may that continue. Dare I ask this question? Cataract is there, you're there, JT. Leon Bailey, let me just get clarification because I saw the squad drop. I didn't see the press conference itself, the announcement. And I just thought, let me come and touch base with you on Sports Prophecy. Leon Bailey, is he in the squad? I saw his name as part of the 26-man squad. Is he going to be in camp or not?
I actually don't know. That's what a lot of people don't know. But he shut it down that he's not in the squad. So he shut it. It was misinformation. That's what I think him and Craig Butler put out. So this is what this big hoorah is about now, is whether or not, because apparently there was a meeting between Mr. Butler and what do you call it now? Mr. Butler and Dennis Chung and Chris Williams. So I don't know what guarantee Butler gave to a Dennis Chung in that situation where they felt comfortably enough to think that Leon Bailey will be back for the coach to select him. The coach would have must have gotten some kind of information. That's my thought on it. So I don't know if Craig Butler led them on, but that's what happened, and that's where we are now with the whole Leon Bailey thing.
You've got
So,
the likes of you.
Taylor,
Go
let me ask about this, the Craig Butler thing, and say this.
ahead.
Oh, the coach said the JFF, Mr. Chung, he called Dennis Chung by name, told him that he has spoken to Craig Butler and all matters were resolved. And it is on that basis that he included Leon Bailey in the squad.
Oh my God.
Leon Bailey would miss the first game because of prior business engagement.
Yeah.
That's the new name for when you're party. It's called a prior business engagement. So Bailey would not make the first game on the 20th or whenever.
Yeah.
But he
heard
would
that.
join the team
Later.
subsequently. Yes.
Yeah. And Dennis Chung said on the thing that he told the coach that the player won't, or something like that, won't be available until that time, and the coach thought it was okay.
Yes, the coach was quite clear that he is acting on the advice of Dennis Chung. So Dennis Chung would need to come to Jamaica urgently and speak on whichever platform is going to give you the nice furry tennis ball questions and tell us what happened. Because this is more than egg on the face. This is a whole CB broilers in the face. I'm hearing that it's a soap opera now being covered by the New York Times, and all kind of people have jumped on this.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think somebody said something about it was some big publication took this up, right?
and New York. Leon Bailey is a Premier League player, top Premier League player.
Let's see if we can find this.
Right? So I am shocked. What I don't understand in terms of this squad, and I wanted to ask the coach, and I must say Simon did allow me an additional question, so I am being totally fair, but I couldn't overimpose on him. I thought it was important to ask Marion Gordon about what exactly has he learned and how is the knowledge transfer coming on.
Okay, we have the article here.
Right? But I wanted to say, if Dujan Whisper was not available as a winger, how do you replace a winger with a CDM stroke centre back? So I would have asked, for example, I think it would be legitimate to ask, what happened to Blair Turgot? What happened to my boy?
Yeah.
Ronaldo Aarons? All who have like at least 10 games to the latter part of the season under their belt. Some come back from injury, etc. But those are experienced players. Why wouldn't we replace a like-for-like replacement? I had that concern, and maybe next time I'll ask the question. You know what I mean?
It's a reasonable question.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through this article here by the New York Times or the Athletic. It says Jamaica Copa America 2024 squad, Leon Bailey included, but father says forward won't join up. Leon Bailey has been included in the Copa America squad despite saying he would take a break from international football in March. Bailey's father, Craig Butler, has said on social media that his son's position has not changed regarding his participation with Jamaica. We kindly ask that you respect his wishes at this time, Butler added, posts made on social media that are surfacing at this time is at a misrepresentation of his position. We wish the Reggae Boys well in Copa America competition, he said, along with his management team, will continue to support the Jamaica national team, all levels. Change must come. Respect, one love. He claims that the Jamaica Football Federation selected Leon Bailey despite not receiving commitment from the winger himself, that he was prepared to represent Jamaica at the tournament. Jamaica have already played 2026 World Cup qualifications this month ahead of Copa America, beating Dominican Republic 1-0 June 6th, Dominica 3-2 on June 9th. Bailey did not feature in Heimir Hallgrim's squad for either or of those games. The 26-year-old, hold on. Yeah, the 26-year-old was found to have broken curfew during November international break, along with forward Travante Stewart, and was subsequently suspended by the team for their March Nation League fixtures. During the international break, though, Bailey told the Let's Be Honest podcast that he was going to take a break from the national team, describing the JFF as very unprofessional, adding that he had to book his own flights and often was provided with adequate equipment. The JFF disputed Bailey's claims, describing them as inaccurate and contradictory. Aston Villa forward Leon Bailey has played 30 times for Jamaica since making his debut in 2019, scoring only 5 goals. 20 games, 5 goals. As well as Bailey, the Premier League is represented by Brentford, Ethan Pinnock, Fulham's Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, West Ham, Mikel Antonio. Jamaica begin their Copa America campaign against Mexico on Saturday, people, June 22nd. They then face Ecuador on June 26th. So this month it starts before finishing the group stage against Venezuela, June 30th. And the squad is as named for Jamaica. Goalkeepers, Andre Blake, Philadelphia Union, Jamali Waite, El Paso, Connor Boyce Clark, Reading, Shaquan Davis, Mount Pleasant. Defenders, Damian Lowe, Philadelphia Union, Michael Hector, Charlton Athletic, Amari Bell, Luton Town, Richard King, Cavaliers, Dexter Lambekisa Hearts, Greg Lee, Oxford United, Deshaun Beckford, Sheffield Wednesday, and Ethan Pinnock, Brentford, Wes Harding, Millwall, John Bell, Seattle Saunders, I think. So there you have it, people. That was the article. It's just a lot of what we know already. Basically, I think we're ahead of the New York Times when it comes down to stuff like this. So what they're saying is what we knew when it was happening instantly. That's to tell you where technology is these days.
JT, mark our cards. Where do you expect the Reggae Boyz squad to finish in this Copa America competition, with or without Leon Bailey? My lord. I don't want to just jump out of what we've just been talking about, because JT, it's not a good look, is it? How is this good in terms of recruitment going forward, as well as the existing players in the camp?
Yeah.
If they are aware of this kind of shenanigans going on, I tell you what, Coach Heimir Hallgrimsson has his hands full, and I don't think necessarily some of these things should be attributed to him should the Reggae Boyz falter in this particular competition. Is that too much to ask, or do you think that Coach Heimir has no excuses where these kind of situations are concerned? It beggars belief. Ben White for England made himself unavailable for England, having been outstanding for Arsenal. It was clearly articulated and communicated. It was case closed. Gareth Southgate could not be saying Ben White is in the squad. Why? Because Ben White had said, I'm unavailable for selections for personal reasons. Done it, done this, sir. What go on with the drama in Jamaican football? Speak!
Yeah, and man, I'm over it, to be honest. It is what it is. I think Jamaica does well regardless because, as the statistics tell you, Leon Bailey had 5 goals in 30 games. Leon Bailey had 5 goals in 30 games for Jamaica. So that's all we're missing. If we look at the other things that Leon Bailey brings to Jamaica, to be honest to you, he brings more reputation than actual play on the field. It's the Aston Villa reputation that he brings. So a lot of people are expecting that constantly, but that doesn't happen for Jamaica.
So let's just be crystal clear. JT, are you saying that Leon Bailey is not Jamaica's best player? I don't think he's Jamaica's best player, but this could be a debate for continued conversation. I see JT has got no. I see Castro had his hand up. JT,
Even Ronaldo Stevens is better than Leon Bailey for Jamaica.
Oh God. No, I think he must be still reasoning. JT, I suggest you check the comment section. It would be interesting to see the breakdown. And in fact, in your time on Sports Prophecy, I wonder if you would be in the majority. You just said CFAS is better than Mr. Bailey.
For Jamaica,
I'm going to allow you to speak.
I said for Jamaica, Cephas is better for Jamaica than Leon Bailey. Look how many big chances Cephas has created in his maybe 3 games for Jamaica. He probably has more big chances than a Leon Bailey for those 30 games. So the statistics
That's a low blow. That's a low blow, JT.
Shows that all Cephas needs to do is to score 5 goals for for Jamaica, and he's automatically better than Leon Bailey for Jamaica. Just 5 goals because he's gonna do a lot more than that. And I think he's gonna get those 5 goals. It's just a matter of time because he's gonna figure out how to score because he has scored at his clubs. He didn't just get by. They didn't get sold him on to Turkey because he was good to run past players. He was good. I saw him finish very well in game. Same for Kaheem Dixon. I think they're dealing with a bit of goal fright, shell shock to be in such good position with the ball. As soon as they start getting used to that, time starts slowing down and they'll make better decisions.
It's a big stage. International football is it's the hottest of kitchens. Preparation is not akin to playing for a club. You come together as a band of brothers, you listen to the coach, you have practice sessions, they all know each other, they know they can all play football. The question is, can you bring your A game against opponents who have the pride and passion and the skills ready to be on show? The likes of Mexico, Canada for a few years have done that. The question is, why Leon Bailey's have not done it while Demarai Gray, a Kaheem Dixon, my lord, I know you spoke highly of the young player, JT. Let me tell you something. I like what I'm telling you. The reason boss is saying I like what I see in Kaheem Dixon. He's brought a smile to my face. That brother looks like in the brightest of spotlights. He's I see there's some hand waving. I don't know if Cataract is part of our conversation or he's reasoning elsewhere. But Kaheem Dixon, he is well worth investing in, and I hope, having listened to him, that he can put his best foot forward. Oh, wait, I say, King Man.
I'm listening to the madness. I've got a belly full that I need to say. I've listened to JT on his Kaheem Dixon thing. We're not on the same page. But without whisper, I think Kaheem Dixon deserves that developmental spot. And therefore I have no problem with his inclusion. But I have a problem with Jay Taylor's overhyping of a player that is in his really developmental stage, right? I do have a big problem with that because Jay Taylor's all of a sudden become a Kaheem Dixon fan.
No. You're saying that no.
And I'm telling you that the performances are reasonable or decent performances for a
Yeah, I guess I'm alive, you know.
live.
I say, go man, more time.
Let's go inside the song with the youth them.
Live, man. I say,
Yeah,
man.
that's not my baby, man. Anyway, here one. Big up yourself. I'm saying to you that Kaheem Dixon is on a developmental path. I saw some mad player ratings from Military Guna. I rated Kaheem Dixon a 7 out of 10 in the last versus Dominica because he scored a goal, but he missed several key chances. But for where he is in his development, I am satisfied, and he deserves his place in Copa. But he ain't Walter Boyd. Or Walter
he's the pearl. He's the young pearl.
No, he's not the young pearl.
He's the young pearl.
You remember when
you can't take that from the bar. You remember Cataract, Cataract, come on, and I laugh at me.
The man just decent, brother. When I put the man like no. But he did what he's supposed to do because Colin Anderson got a chance, couldn't do it. Trevante Stewart got a chance. I know him can score a goal. Atafarai Belgrave got a chance. I know him can score. Devante Campbell. So kudos to Kaheem Dixon for scoring his goal. However, the number of missed chances, especially in the early phase, which could have totally turned the game.
But he hit the post. Like we
missed chance.
Cataract, those things you can't actually change that. It's just that thing. It's just a thing. It's like a feather between going in and hitting the post.
He didn't disappear. He's not a player who disappeared. He kept on getting himself in the position, harrying the defenders, harrying the keeper. He's shown that he's not cowed by the occasion, and that is something that needs to be avoided.
The biggest that make it punish you.
Here come this man now, a bus shot to Kaheem Dixon.
No man, I biggest start that where Richie Paul said the player doesn't disappear in games. Richie, that's a big talk. You have a lot of players. That's where even a Kaheem, that's where a Tariq McGee loses you. He pops up in games, but he goes missing for a bulk of the game. This has this Kaheem Dixon seems like he's in the game. He's plugged in.
So here's the thing, and then I'll let Reason Boss jump in. Here's the thing. He's a youth, and so he's running on some of what he's running on is youthful exuberance, and I would say he's a young Corey Burke. Or he's an upgrade on Corey Burke. So it's not the headless chicken pressing. And he does have some end product in terms of he has scored 2 goals in 4 or 5 games. And so, or 6 games. So respect must be given at the point where he is. But he ain't no Michael Antonio. And he ain't no Walter Boyd.
Right now, me that start Kaheem Dixon. You must
say mad enough French court.
Wait, you gonna finish that sentence, JT? JT, you gonna finish that sentence?
I would start Kaheem Dixon. Kaheem Dixon over Boza. I would start Kaheem Dixon over Boza anytime.
2 different kinds of player attract 2 different kinds of attention.
Yeah.
I think what you miss about Leon Bailey is that when Leon Bailey is on the field, he forces other teams to double team him and to pay attention to him. And that opens up the space for other players to be open. What Leon Bailey doesn't do is that he doesn't use the other players. He tries to do it by himself. That's his weakness. But I think he is a little bit more than 5 goals in 20 games or 30 games or whatever you want to say. I think he brings a constant threat. I think he harries and worries the defense. That's what I believe he does, and I believe he garners double team. So
I mean,
reason, boss.
yeah, man. The whole question. I mean, I don't want to dwell too long on the matter in terms of who is Jamaica's best player. Technically speaking, if you look at Leon Bailey, yes, he's Jamaica's best player. Who he plays for Aston Villa, Champions League team. You can't be a mug. When I see him play for Jamaica, his movements at his best are electric. He can deal with the matter. He remains a puzzle. When I saw him playing, but you've already hit on it. Sometimes he tries to do too much on his own. I used to wonder, is it because his colleagues weren't on the same level and he didn't trust them to receive the passes that he was making? But as time has gone on in the performances I've seen for the Reggae Boyz, it's been a combination, a mix and a match, and I can't quite pin him down as to why he doesn't produce more.
Reason why does Leon Bailey attract more attention than Demarai Gray for Jamaica?
Well, that's a great question because, let me tell you two things quick and fast. Demarai Gray is, again, I say, a player who has hit the ground running. He keeps it simple and is yet so effective, and the fans love him. Why? Because they can see he's doing something and it's effective not only singularly for himself, but for the good of the team. He keeps it simple, makes the runs, produces the passes, and you say, that's a quality player. Now, Leon Bailey, sometimes he's left me shaking my head. As a finisher, I think the hardest thing in football is to score a goal. I've seen him and we've seen him fluff chances. And I'm wondering, what a go on? What a go on? Kaheem Dixon is not the coming savior. He's an up-and-coming player who, again, I say, he's not shirked.
But me not feel that Jamaica got Miss Leon Bailey, with all the attributes of Leon Bailey that you guys call up. Actually, think that Jamaica, I think he actually has a psychologically negative effect on the team.
It's a very, very interesting point you're raising, JT. I'd love to hear Cataract's opinion on that, and the views and subscribers. I'm wondering, like, share, subscribe to Sports Prophecy and Rich Paul, sport shooting from the hip and the lip, as lovers of the game.
Whoa. No, man, you have to shoot from lip, brother.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah, tell me about Leon Bailey. Explain Leon Bailey. Is he more effective and makes Jamaica a harder team to play against, or Jamaica a better team without Leon Bailey? Or is it the same? Like a sight test?
Ronaldo Cephas is better than Leon Bailey for Jamaica. May I tell you that? It's just a fact. Cataract can come up with the most eloquent and exquisite rebuttal, but you're not.
Did you watch Ronaldo Cephas against Dominica? Was he on?
I've seen Cephas. Manning's man also stated that Cephas got the worst part of the field. He was on the worst part of the field. He had the worst part of the field.
So let me help Manning's man, aka Excuse Man. We played two halves. So if he got the worst half of the field in the first half, it can't be the worst half of the field in the second half. Don't come with that bull crap, come get bad, man.
Well, he was subbed off. When was he subbed off?
Hold on, man. Hold on, rude boy. Hold on, that's number one. Number two, in the modern game, wingers switch wings to keep and throw the defense off.
The opponents, yeah, they can do. Yes, they do.
He doesn't do that, and he could have done that. If he felt he was ineffective, he could have said, yo, Poppy, you take your left, me take your right. You take your right, me take your left. See if I'm more effective over there. Come on. You don't statically play in one position up front. You keep rotating to keep the defense.
Yeah, man. Football guru, they don't understand that, man.
Yes,
it affects.
I want to answer someone Kevin Full about it. I have never put Whisper over Kaheem Dixon, you confounded idiot. Whisper is at Chelsea. Kaheem Dixon is get his first overseas transfer.
Wouldn't you? Some people are saying Kaim Dixon better than Whisper right now.
There's no evidence of that.
What statistics you would draw for them? Because you can, say a lot of time people cannot use the Costa Cup.
I am giving the what's Whisper's goals. I can go bring it up. The goals he has scored in a higher league than the JPL. Cap plotting the two players together. I just said Kaheem Dixon deserves the developmental spot when Whisper is not available. But don't come tell me.
So we are talking about when Whisper is not available. So Kaheem Dixon must have seminar and play too. I want him to the brother man, but when we like the youth now improve him thing too. What kind of come from with this?
Look here, nobody.
Like the man develop like the youth didn't answer. Like him now want play too. But when Whisper ready.
Special effects. Special effects. Go up with that.
About when Whisper ready. You know, see dog run with the K when him done when him shoot up in net. It's like him not see what go on. Yeah, move like 8-7-6-3, you know, get back. Easy as hell.
First of all, you don't run with K down. And the real tap, you don't run with the K down. You run with the gun, brawling up in the air.
Well, the youth, I run with it, because you know, say, I probably say want to run through the place. But get her. You have to have the man hold the space till Whisper forward back. The man I say, yo, what you think? Brother, which game you see Whisper get 5 chances with Jamaica? Which game you see Whisper get 5 chances in Jamaica? He got himself in those positions. You cannot understand there are two different players. Whisper is at an academy. But this youth play a big man football and I get trouble out there. That meant to about him I get trouble in the game.
You're talking.
Even the commentator was saying it. Like this youngster is energetic, he's on the move, he wants to get it done. So
he didn't use words like,
when in a long talking with you, you come out and laugh at me about
clinical. He didn't use the words like clinical.
But you expect a player in his maybe first start for a country to be considered clinical. You expect a player will start for the first time in country to be clinical.
Fanboy.
Him and about fanboy, you have about being clinical, brother. Yeah,
at least
you think the player playing for Jamaica in his first start can be clinical as Cataract expect. You know how long it takes some players to become clinical in their career? That's repetition, Cataract.
Kaheem Dixon is on the coach. Let's get to the reality. Let's get to the reality, boy. Let me beat around. Let me reach around bush. Now I tell you this, man. Right now, this psychological moment in time, Kaheem Dixon, not there for Whisper level.
Wow.
Not there. Brawling. And you can go take 2 games against the 150th and 180th ranked team and come and try show me nothing. And that is like putting Usain Bolt to run champs.
No,
and then Usain Bolt come third. And you come try and tell me, say, I'm a big runner. Don't do that. Olympics are Olympics. Remember, say, a Gold Cup Whisper come getting baptism in. Remember that good. Remember, say, Whisper was
you're getting so worked up.
Just let me finish. Right, Let me finish. You understand? Let me finish. And don't press the sampler when I play. Because Cataract have a whole sampler.
Oh, God.
You're actually playing when the dance actually lock off already. Like you're playing, you play a song where you play already. What I'm saying is, you saying people Cataract coming on here and getting worked up and saying how Whisper is the most magnificent player in the world. Cataract, that doesn't make gospel though. It doesn't make it gospel.
Military, let me tell you this right now. We're talking Poppy. I have pictures of me climbing on the fence like an Argentinian ultra to congratulate him run cross to Cataract the boss. When run cross to where the team Cataract man them there.
What are you talking about now? What are you talking about now, Cataract?
I will send it to you what I'm talking about. Because you don't know what happened. But let me tell you now what the reality is.
Yeah, because there's no way for me to know what happened in a situation that I didn't know was occurring.
That sound dodgy. I wonder if the fence wasn't there when we go. Yeah, climb over for greet. How are you going with us?
I mean, run the fence. You don't watch Argentinian football. You don't watch Boca. You don't watch
Them
him play.
a bigger one. So he was looking to embrace and kiss him up. I thought he was gonna do.
I said congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, congratulate.
Congratulate. Right.
Greet with that. With that.
Say you shoot from lip, you know. I remember says a Brazilian shirt you have in that back, brother. Lift up.
Hey, sometimes I saw as hey the one who bark up largest. Sometimes they have I just check, you know. So you run fence and I climb like you can't wait for it. All right. Anyway, continue, sir. Oh God.
Let me say this. Whisper was not playing for several months competitively when he got thrust into the Gold Cup squad, much to the chagrin of yourself and others who questioned whether he ought to be there or deserved to be there. You reason, boss, and most definitely that man in the black cap, right? Good. Like him name, like if I try to be Martin Lawrence in Men in Black. Good movie, by the way. Like that series. But let's get back to him. And Whisper scored a goal in the clutch against Trinidad that is ranked way higher than these 11 fishermen. A fisherman we go charge, a man we have pick, one man we have pick nutmeg, you know. I saw nutmeg farmer we go play, you know, in a Dominican.
The deflected goal you talk about, Whisper swear, that one? I know that one you talk.
Deflected goal? I'm talking about the game against Dominica that they're hyping up about.
Okay, I talking about Whisper when they score a goal and it was a deflected effort and Heimir, I wonder where them young man are shoot from.
Him now gonna say that count. That no count, man. That no count.
Oh, because deflected goals don't count. Do you know what percentage of the world's goals are scored by deflection this time? At least 30 or 40%.
Yeah, man. Let me take this. Lorenzo, what we are talking about right now still at the Dixie Whisper team still. We passed the diva thing, as I said. Demari is that guy. Let's move on past these uncommitted divas. You see me I say? We're gonna get the reincarnation of the pearl who are gonna wave the AK in the ear. Me I tell him, yo, oh, and Joe Grind, them don't know what I go on, my boss. Them don't know, say, yo, baller. We know them when we see them a yard. We know them, and that little youth is a baller.
Deserves the place. But
raise the boss. We're willing for risk saying that you they are baller and in a workout. Because you just know when you see drive match with a person who want to learn and still have the hunger. He can get
that's the key.
You know what?
Hunger.
You know what Dixon has over Whisper? Work rate and a sort of defensive. At least he tries to run round. Whisper don't try to do that. But I am hoping and looking forward to see what Chelsea has added to that aspect of what was clearly a weakness. Neither of them are the finished product. Neither. They are in a developmental spot. Developmental slot that Heimir Hutchison says he will have in every squad. But you know what I don't hear? You know what I don't hear? I don't hear Leeds United saying we are in Jamaica looking at that. I don't hear Bournemouth. I don't hear Everton. I don't hear a myriad of other teams that looking for strikers saying that Paul P is coming there. And these are people who know much more than Cataract about what is a good player, what is a bad player. I keep telling you that something is wrong with Uno reasoning. Strikers, good strikers. Man went, Newcastle and them went, West Brom went to bloody Venezuela to get Solomon Rondon. People will scour the ends of the earth to find a striker. Ho Min Sung from South Korea.
To be fair, let me hear what this I say. Trevon here is in here. Hold on. Hear what Trevon is saying here. He's saying that to be fair, Dixie is at similar quality in comparison to Whisper. Dixie is technically gifted for a locally developed player. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but if Dixie is our Hendrick, why isn't he? And I'm hoping that he is. I really do. But there are teams right now that looking for strikers and CDMs. That's what the whole bloody world is looking for: strikers, CDMs, and left backs. Come on, man.
there are levels to this. Without question, let me tell you where I am at the moment as we stand. And I've got to ask you this, Castro, I don't know what your views are. Kaim Dixon and Whisper deserve, on merit and their ability, yes, a place in the Reggae Boys team as and when Coach Heimir deems it fit. They both bring different strengths to the party, as you just alluded to. I'm wondering, from London, England, right about now, it has crossed my mind and it's coming to the fore again. Do you envisage, and I'm hoping for a positive answer, but tell me as you see it, do you envisage any issues with Whisper Richards playing and representing for the Reggae Boys on a regular basis, as his talent could fully deserve, especially having had time at Chelsea? He's got the quality. Do you envisage any issues with him regularly turning out for the Reggae Boys of Jamaica?
I do. Until the matter is settled between the gentleman, the administration and his agent, there will be war. That's what Bob Marley said.
Everywhere, oh God.
Until Mr. Speed stop with Cavaliers players in the Reggae Boys side, there will be war.
Me say what?
That those Phoenix man don't get their name of the club next to their picture. There will be war. Like, why be petty? Why not put Phoenix Academy next to the name of the player and just done this foolishness, bro? Like, this
Why we don't hear you? So why we don't hear you talking to Craig Butler about Dunning his foolishness?
I am telling you now, and I'm going to say this again because obviously stick broken in your ears.
No,
Both men need to be mature.
No. Yeah,
and
I never yet
like
hear you. I
big
never.
men and stop acting like two kids in the sandbox.
Yeah, you
Because
know what
when
I always realize?
when elephants fight,
This is such a political way how you do this. You explain this in such a political way. You see, anytime Cataract's supposed to talk about, let's say, tell Mr. Butler to chill out, he then pairs them together and says, just listen to me, reason boss. These two men should just put aside their differences and squabble or whatever. He will say that. But just when it's time for him to speak about Mr. Speed, him say, Rudolph Speed don't get these players. You would never hear him say that about Craig Butler. You sound compromised, brother. No, Cataract, on this specific topic here, you sound compromised.
I believe that Mr. Butler, as the agent for two national players, needs to get down.
And you don't think the Butler uses his players to stick up the JFF each chance every time he gets the chance? You don't believe that?
Stick up. Oh God.
No.
You don't believe that?
No. I believe
exactly
ongoing rift between two gentlemen.
There we go again.
Damaging Jamaican football, and both gentlemen need to grow the hell up, resolve their differences, and allow Jamaican football to prosper. The team is better with Leon Bailey and Whisper in being available for selection. Don't tell me no nonsense. Don't tell me no Alice Marshall or Duchesne Beckford. Don't tell me those nonsense. This is damaging our chances of getting a squad that gels. Come on, man. Both of them.
Oh, yeah, but you always sound up here on 180, man. You always sound swingy when you talk about that.
I'm very clear.
That's to me, basically, Cataract, as I said. Me just starting a sports... me starting a sports management agency, I realize where a lot of this comes from as well. Because players who has international caps, I found out, are easier to sell. Players who got international caps are easier to sell on the market. And
that's known.
Yeah, no, but I wasn't I was giving each party the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm on YouTube, I don't just rush to judgment if I don't know.
Okay.
You see me? Like, I don't know. However, I think that's where a big part of the problem lies as well. Craig Butler believes that he has trained his players up to a level where they are above the class of the players down there playing. He might be correct, and he also picked up on other things that he has seen overseas that he would love for them to implement. The problem is he's also an antagonizer. He antagonizes the JFF constantly reminded them, like reminding them about their mishaps and their little back and forth. He never lets go. That's my thing, Sir Richard. So you never get to really deal with the immediate problem because he now brings all the bucket of water we did run at the house back from last year. Him just come through it in a this about pan and start argue over it. He doesn't say, okay, guys, okay, this is exactly what we're working on. We need Leon Bailey this to get solved. No, Craig Butler go say, remember in 1992 when me walk to go downtown, go pick up the youth and like, bro, we heard that already. We heard that song. We seen that movie. We don't want to watch it again. We're on to a new film. How can we move on? He doesn't seem like he's ever ready to move on with the JFF. It's gonna constantly be this war thing.
So Taylor, let me ask you, why they can't put Phoenix Academy in brackets next to the man player? Why they keep putting unattached and provoking them? These are little boy things, I said Craig Butler, for all the big agency they have, needs to hire a reputable publicist to prepare Leon Bailey and Whisper for their interviews so that they don't make the kind of massive faux pas that had him apologizing to Aston Villa and his fans and his club and his fellow players the next day. They're weak on that.
Massive faux pas, indeed.
Because you have to be prepared for the interview. You don't go chatting what's all on your belly. You don't tell people that you are the poster boy and that you bring people in the stadium and then the next thing a man I will tell us, remember, I want 300 people in cover stadium. So, it's not something to be proud of. You know what I mean? They put you there.
And I think Cephas has made some fans that game in the stadium.
Yes, it's Cephas. Yeah. The fan them. And the fan them like Dixon to you, I'll tell you the truth. But I'm gonna tell you something last night. When the name Leon Bailey was announced in the Copa America squad, all the people in them suit and tie would come to the cocktail. Blah 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 blah.
Oh.
It solicited the largest response. The next largest response was for Kahim Dixon. Of course, Cephas couldn't get his forward because team name apparently wasn't typed up.
They didn't type his name properly.
No,
it's a typo. His name was a typo.
It was a bad man tune, a big tune up here at the time.
Leon Bailey got a 4-corner forward. The 4-corner of tracks and records lift up. Man, a beat this kind of bust shot like him. It's about them suit and tie from ex-company marketing manager. Woman a jump up. So I'm not gonna call their names because I don't think they were behaving in character. They were just jubilation.
So where are we now? Is Leon Bailey? Where are we now? Is Leon Bailey in the squad? This is another thing I want to ask.
Cape Town had a song. I don't know if you know it, but I know Reason Boss loves Jamaican music. I said, when you're in, and when you're out, you're out. Never get caught on a corruption route. I think that's what's happening to Jamaica. It's either you're in or you're out. You know that song? So when you're in, you can't out. And when you're out, you can't. Try find a Cape Town song there. In music.
So you want to say, so Leon Bailey is still in the team?
It's a rocky road.
It's a rocky road.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. It's Tony Rich Project. That's the name. Nobody knows but me.
Travis, Leon Bailey still in our team? No? Up to today, we don't know.
That's all right. Big up Cataract, JT and Richard. Why, JT?
Bless up.
You don't finish work, I tell you, say, JT, boy, Jamaica, football never seems to amaze me, brother. God no. Because when I look at it, saying JT, Leon Bailey saying patriotic for Jamaica football. We agree, say you say you want time off, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But the man who may beat the most right now is Hal Grimson. Hal Grimson come tell we say, I hear him out of mouth on an interview, say Leon Bailey is the best player, and him go pick him, and him have to turn on Jamaica. That's what he said. And what me I say, if a man tell you, say, he want time off, you allow him, no brother. Leave him be. Can Leon Bailey plan him thing to keep him party, can him vex through the court. With the thing we go on with the last time. So he make sure he put in party day before Copa. So I'm not interested to go to Copa. You know, make you know that straight. So when we agree, say, the coach and everybody don't want to try something, but the problem now is Leon Bailey handler. That man is, we don't know what to say about that man, brother. That man want 2-for-1 combo. Like when he used to play with, when Leon did that thing with Kyle Finson, we're not good. So I see anything I do with Whisper too, with Leon. So he might make you know, say, if Leon did that, he come up with something, say, he might have some point, 5 points, that thing when he put up. When want
world standard and all them things, they come on, bro.
no, listen,
What I was asking about the security, what is so like Leon, does Leon want a private security? Because
no, but if you listen, Mr. Chang interview JT, Mr. Chang said, Copa or provide security, but if Leon will be in the team, if he wanted a security for himself, he can get him on. And that's why me and Mr. Chang said, may I listen to oral trace this morning? So it's clear if Leon wants superstar status what he want. Because me personally, Leon no bigger than Bobby Reed, Antonio, and Pinnock. I'm sure about that. Sure of that. And Leon is telling already JT from 2020.
Even bigger than Bobby, you say? And Pinnock and Antonio, that you say?
Bobby, Pinnock, and Antonio. Yeah, bigger than Leon.
Look, I don't agree with this. I for many times,
fine.
I don't. Hold on. I don't agree with Travis, but on this point, I have to say I agree with him. Look here, when the team are trained, a Cataracta must be 2 other man, hardcore man. So there's no crowd. I don't know what I'm talking about. So whatever I do,
Cataract. You didn't know that.
Oh man, it's easy, man. Them for glad said people were associated with them. You know what? But tell you what, Jay Taylor, Travis, this is Sunday game. Jay Taylor tell you, 4 different places me go 100 per Hope Pro, the casino. The man them run me out that place and tell me say NBA finals are going. Move, come talk about Reggae Boyz. Lift up. I have to just take my little pipe, put on my way and take with myself and think. When we reach 100. A beer Indian man in there. Lift up. We are watching T20. Not even for the liquor screen there, we couldn't watch it. 4 different places we go. Till we go on jerk center. With me and the man who are jerky pork. I look for one transistor radio. And that we watch Reggae Boyz match from. That happened live. So there's no love loss. For the Reggae Boyz, right? So the liquor people love it, show respect for. Show respect.
True.
The people, the 10,000 people, them are 11,000 people. They stood up in the rain on Thursday in the rain. Nobody never run for the shelter. Them stand up in the rain and support the team. Torrential rain, me not talk about no drizzle. Man, I said umbrella pay a grand for one. Umbrella where you can buy for 2-3 bills downtown itself pay a grand in the stands and I bleachers and people buy it. People when they know nobody them huggle up together and share umbrella.
But
love and
I was
unity.
in the grandstand still, so me didn't really get no wet. I was in the grandstand.
Yeah, when you up in the top of the grandstand and now I come down and that thing I get wet for the sea over there. Yeah. But I'm just telling you, you were over there, so you saw when the rain bust out, you saw anybody run? You saw
man,
anybody run
Babsy.
to the stand?
Babsy great
No, man,
run.
they're talking over
And they
bleachers.
like
They're
that
talking about over bleachers.
Yeah.
Over bleachers, nobody no run. From gate 1 all the way around.
True.
Them because people were there to support. So give back the fans the love. But you want security. None of them not bigger than Walter Boy and Andelo.
Ask me if you have security at Uptown Mondays for day. Ask me if you have security at Uptown Mondays for day.
I don't agree with that. That's what I think is wrong and wrong. It sent a wrong signal. And you know what happened? You know who else are gonna watch the game? Them and the security.
But Cataract, if you go on Leon and Craig Butler Instagram page, you see some SUM. Not tap yourself. Jamaican people are no chill, Cataract. For your disrespect the country, people don't care who you be. They will beat you to scan. Yes, I tell you. If you go on the Instagram page, man. All right. Me sleep on the next channel today. Every talk, some man talk, I SUM female Butler and whisper. Man, you don't want to hear nothing about them, brother.
Yeah,
Can I bring in football into dispute?
Into dispute. I do believe so. I do believe so. But if you have problems, settle them behind closed doors.
Exactly, Cataract. Professional way.
I have to say that I think they have given up their rights and they are now firmly in the crosshairs. Right? You don't get a chance to go to Copa America and the World Cup qualifier where you know we needed a massive goal difference. You make yourself available, brother.
Yeah, man. Then all right. Mr. Daly's interview this morning with Mr. Chang and Butler. Butler said, you know on YouTube that Ryan a push-ups in Canada, Ryan a push-up camera in my client face. All of them sitting there and joke. And the same YouTuber, I big up Butler, and Butler I put him on the bus. And I'm a big up Butler.
So let me
say,
wherever you go, as a security or no security, because he will never have enough security to stop the cameras going in his face. Trust me. Ask Princess Diana. So it's either you want this thing or you don't want this thing.
Cataract, the man don't love football, Cataract, man. The man love the hype. So he rich and hold my money at Villa now and he will play Champions League. So Jamaica can go one side. So just left with him then, man. Leave me alone. We are winning without you. Do it, but I'll give him a beam for all of this. The coach,
I blame Dennis Young because they should not have told the coach that he was available without very firm.
No, but Cataract, if the coach asks to agree for a meeting with them, and the coach wants him in the Cataract, that's why they facilitate the meeting with Dennis Young. You see what I say? But at the end of the day, Cataract, me and you know that Leon was going to play. But remember, the only way Leon you play. If JFF meet the demands of the 5 things where Craig Butler outline. I say 5 in 1. I don't 2 for 1 now. A 5 in 1. What you want? Yeah, all right, Cataract, you notice every time Jamaica play, there's some problem with Phoenix. Every time we play one game out, before a game out, always a problem.
A lot of others. I'm not going to put it at Phoenix. I just want a squad to be named, and then 26 players.
But Cataract, do you know that we can't replace Leon now in the squad? You know that? Yeah.
Unless there's injury.
And 25 players, we can't replace him again.
I hope they're right.
And the next thing again, me and Craig Butler said he's affiliated to the Second FA. Phoenix is not a club. Phoenix is an academy. And only way Phoenix can be in a club, Giant Center FA, Major League or D1 or whatsoever. And they get accreditation in a Jamaica football at the highest level. But him not go on do that. Because if he go in his system in a center and he sell players, he send an FA who have to get money out of it and JV money out of it. So that's the problem.
Afternoon, Travis. So you're wrong this way, yeah?
Home run. Right.
Yeah. So good afternoon to the men.
Good afternoon.
So firstly, the Phoenix is registered as a club. on the JFF FIFA Connect. They are affiliated to the Sentan FA. And them play in a leagues in the Sentan before. I think a couple years ago, they played in some major league down there.
Brian. Come on, brother. Better than that. We are talking about no, brother. No bother with that.
That's what I'm talking, brother. Because I make it talk, you know. Yeah, so you don't have to agree with me, brother. I mean, Fox me again, I'm not if you agree.
That can't be.
All right, when you stop talking, me talk.
Come on, stop talking, but that can't be Fox, brother.
Travis, allow the man. I'm the official host here. Allow the gentleman to speak, and then you can counteract. We don't rebut around here. So go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so him having affiliation status in a Sentan, whether or not that affiliation status is what we would like it to be or what we'd hope for, it's a different thing. But he was affiliated to the Sentan Association. And then not just recently, he play a league down there already. And I guess him reactivate him affiliation. And also, in terms of him selling him players.
Just put your mic on mute, please, because we're hearing your background conversation. Go ahead, Brian.
In terms of him selling his players, no, being an affiliate doesn't mean that the Parish Association will get any money from your players. So the only people that get money from the sale of your players is based on how much they are sold for and stuff. You know, you have the training compensation and the solidarity payments, and that would go to the other clubs who would have been involved in the players' development from their 12th to their 23rd birthday. And I think if FIFA is unable to, because like sometimes when players transfer and then player passport, the clubs are not listed, then if they are not able to pay out the amount to individual clubs, so let's say for example you have a player and you would have him from like 18 till him 23, but obviously you would have probably play football from him 12 till him come to you, but sometimes those clubs are not on the FIFA Connect and them don't go on the player passport, then that amount of money would have got to the National Association, and I guess FIFA would have hoped that they will be able to transmit said money to the clubs. If the club is existent, and if they are not, I think the money goes to the Parish Association. That's my understanding of the process. So I don't think him have no fear of saying, yo, monies go to the Parish Association. I mean, if him selling players them overseas and he was a part of their development, then him will get his share of the training compensation and solidarity payment, and the other persons who were will eventually get theirs based on how the thing's set up. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. So let's get back to the football and the squad. So overall, out of 10, I'm going to ask the gentlemen on the panel, give us a rating out of 10 overall about how you rate this squad, and then I'm going to come back around and ask you to defend your rating. So for me, I think this squad is a 7 out of 10 with what could be there.
I'm going close to one. I'm going 6.5 out of 10. I'm going 6.5 out of 10. No Ethan Pinnock, unfortunately.
Ethan Pinnock is not there. Ethan Pinnock is in the squad.
Oh, is he in the squad?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Rich, we're going to tell the squad.
Go ahead. Right time me give it. Go ahead.
I was actually joking, but would I give them 8.5? That's me.
8.5. All right.
I
7
8 me ago. That for West Harding. Sorry.
The coach said the man jump up and down for the video call. So
You deserve it.
Wonderful.
So I have to defend myself. I believe that the squad is not balanced. It's defensive heavy. I believe that if Whisper was out, we should have found another winger. And I believe that there are experienced wingers in the team, Blair Turgot or Rolanda Arons, who could have been given the opportunity. I think out and out clinical striker, which is where I think Bailey Kadamati would have made a supreme difference to this team. And I think Omari Hutchinson would have, if those two were in the team, I believe my thing would have gone up to 9. Somebody need to tell me what Alex Marshall did to be in the squad. Based on the dominance. So that's where mine came from. The exclusion of John Russell is mind-boggling, to say the least. So who can defend them score? Ryan, why did you give it 8.5?
All right. So I think all things considered, that's the reason. That's I think one of the reasons why I would have given it a 8.5. I think based on the players that are available, and who the coaches have looked as if they had an interest in the last couple of call-ups. I think they would have selected the best out of what is available. I thought about Jamal Lowe, but then I kind of understand his position and the fact that he was released by his club and maybe he's wanting this opportunity to secure a contract for himself. I never thought of Ronaldo Aaron. Reason being, he's not one of the players that Hallgrim's has selected since he's coming. I think he was here during the Paul Hall era. Good player, and I think he could have some value, but I wasn't expecting him to be selected because he's not one of the players that I consider the coach would have called. I'm happy to see Wes Harding there. I think he's a step above Tavon Gray in terms of being a right back. Whether or not he can play a right back position or a centre back is yet to be seen. I am a little bit wasted now. In terms of the strikers, yeah, I thought Whisper would have been there. I'm not sure what. I think that whole debacle in terms of Whisper and Leon Bailey has to do with more of their own personal thing. As it relates to Bailey Kadamachi, I don't know. I felt that probably since what happened in terms of the Nations League, maybe the coach was not going to be intent on recalling him. Why Omar Hutchinson is not there? I hope that someday I'll be able to get the full understanding of that, because that part is really baffling to me. Because I think as it is now, his future in terms of club football is all but settled. Chelsea has made a decision that he's going to stay, or somebody to fork up 35 million. I don't think he can get any more settled than that as a 20-year-old player. And if he's going to stay at Chelsea, I don't suppose they're going to keep him and push him to play Premier League 2, which means he'll be in and around the first team fighting for a spot, unless things change by now and pre-season tournament starts and stuff. So I don't know what's the reason why he wasn't selected or why he turned the selection on if he was selected. I think I understand that there was another player there who said that he was unavailable for some personal reasons. He wasn't there in the World Cup qualifiers either.
Kemar Roof. He said he didn't feel comfortable based on the last couple of games that he played for Rangers. He didn't feel that he was in a shape to represent the Reggae Boyz.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think from the pool available, I think this is probably the best that he could have done. The generosity thing, I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know if Coach Hallgrims himself can explain that to us, to make us really believe it. And I think the most shocking selection of all was that of Alex Marshall. Notwithstanding whatever quality he could or may have had, there's just not, you know, it's like that's like a curveball selection, like it just come out of nowhere. And because he was there in the last window, he played in the second game away to Dominica, came on for about 15 to 20 minutes, was not impressive. And then he's there now, and it's just baffling. And I mean, even if you're looking at that window,
Brian, don't you think? I thought it was a lot of it had to do with his performance throughout the season. No, sir.
But in JPL, go ahead.
Could you give me one moment? I just want to clear this up.
Yeah, man, sure.
Alex Marshall has taken the Mario Phillips's position. There's a slot there for an unexplained JPL player that will have our head scratching and make YouTube can make some money because there's no other explanation on God living earth. Adrian Reed performed better than he did when he came on for his camp. Am I correct?
But Cataract, in a Adrian Reed position, Adrian Reed don't get no game as a Cataract. Come on, man. Marshall
So in
shouldn't
Alex
agree.
Marshall position, they're going to get game?
No, but
Over who?
Cataract based Marshall for a 2 game in a local squad against Trinidad. He was the best player. If he said that the premises didn't get called upon, that's just my opinion still. Because to me, I think he was lucky to be called. So I agree with Brian there, so. He was very lucky.
Brian, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I felt that like I was saying, by and large, in terms of performance in the JPL as a cam, I think they probably could have even gone for Daniel Green at a stretch. I think he would have contributed more than Alex Marshall.
Anytime me Alex Marshall and Daniel Green them name, me get depressed instantly.
No, let me tell you.
And also, I think probably because if it's one of those selections where you're saying it's reserved for a JPL player, I think we have that. We had Kaim Dixon, so I think
is in the developmental slot.
I thought the development slot was for JPL players who want development.
I think only 2 spots were there.
I didn't know that we have a development slot and a JPL.
Yeah, but we do. We have a developmental slot.
The development slot is kind of the JPL slot.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I saw Demario Phillips playing overage football for $1 million US somewhere.
Yeah, he was playing for the Reggae Rovers. He was playing for the Reggae Rovers in the 77 tournament.
Yeah, that's that. So
he dropped out at the quarterfinals.
Cataract.
Alex Marshall, Reggae Rovers next year. Alex Marshall.
You know,
Alex Marshall was in the Reggae Rovers. You know, he was there. He was, but then he didn't go because he got his call up. He was selected to go and play in the Reggae Rovers.
So this is the Reggae Rovers.
You sure, Brian?
Travis, my boss, one time I tell you things, it gets me, I guess. Marshall was in the Reggae Rovers. He didn't go, and I think that's the reason why they drafted Demario Phillips. Because he wasn't
when I see the Reggae Rovers, you never see Alex Marshall name.
He was drafted originally first when they were picking the players.
Okay.
He was drafted.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of Reggae Boyz. But a lot of Reggae Boyz in that tournament. Omar Holness, Mariampa.
Yeah. Yo, Brian Martin, no, it's Brian. So let me tell us.
No, man, he there for 2 man. He be dropping up, man.
I told you said, and I make Travis no say no joke thing.
No, man. No, just Brian, I'm a friend, man. Brian.
But
he was vying for $1 million, playing against players like Nani and those players, and Kuna Guerrero.
I never man win the money, Brian.
Yo, I don't even know where the team come from when it because man. The man Nani team won the semi-final and Nani say that's the best team he's ever played for. And next thing we know, them get about 4 in the final, brother.
But yes, Reggae Rovers, man, they thief them out.
Yo, Chavi, I can't league, brother. You know what man can teach you, I can't league, brother.
7 aside, man. You know what big one, no, that's a thing, Brian. 800,000.
Phillips, you know, him now go to USL.
He's coming back to play in the Conquer Caribbean Club, whatever you call it.
JP. Team 5 is a fame, the national team. Wash up, brother. You not drop no ball.
don't think them should have did fire Tapa still because I think Tapa international, no, big man
What?
thing. I think Tapa international experience would help him in the Caribbean Cup because Tapa does
No,
set up very well against these kind of teams.
JP, but you know JP. Japa can't buy all of Premier JP like can't win it. You can't buy all of JP like can't win it, brother.
No man, a different. We are saying no. Look when look on what him used to do with the national team. Remember when let's say one of them Caribbean team is like Guyana. Tapa, no matter which set of players you get Tapa, he might go set them up defensively enough to get a result against Guyana. So if he said he would have I think he would actually be better than Mr. Speed as in this kind of competition.
Well, when more players them go back to them academy JT, them a build from within now. And them a spend too much money on so them a build from within. So it look like the academy director will take over a team. Harold Thomas.
What's his football pedigree? What's
How have you done beholding Rivali? Yeah, what my experience in that league?
Oh man, they came. They need a Dutch football coach. If you just teach the youths them total football from that.
Then they get. But Eric is available, you know. JT, Eric was there on it.
He's a Dutch coach.
Yeah, Dutchman, Jamaican.
Yeah, but what's his level of football? Matter about people like you see like all a man like Ralph Rennick them.
I know kids are academy.
Oh yeah. Him big good.
But remember, I heard that. See my good friend, you know, man, Ferguson assistant. They wanted to keep him on Brighton and them choose not to. Them are going with more.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
But
I call my friend Ferguson and get him.
He was assistant for Arnett at one point, right?
Yeah, man. Him and Tegan when Tegan was head coach.
Okay.
Let them go. Just like the Mobile coach, Mobile let him go too.
Yo, Mobile fire coach like.
Yeah, man. When I powder there or not.
Yeah, them fire. I think Tapa maybe will get the Mobile job there.
Well, I don't. Well, I'm not sure.
Tapa place, man.
No, but remember saying different people are on the team, you know, JT.
Yeah, but somebody down there will tell him, listen, Tapa is the man.
Well, let us see.
Yeah, but Reason Boss, I was saying something with the
sports ministry. Yeah, may I tell you?
Easy. Well, when me say Reason Boss is
St. James.
What I'm looking out for the coach.
Theodore Whitmore.
Hello. JT, speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So me did just have a what me look out for is the coach brave enough to start Ronaldo Cephas and Demarai Gray at the same time? Because for me, I need two explosive players on either wing, and that's my make them think about those two players and free up our center forward.
I was looking at the squad and I heard when Cataract said to justify our respective marks out of 10. I'm looking at that midfield and I looked at Alec Marshall and I looked at Alex Marshall's name and it stood out like a sore thumb. The midfield stands out like a sore thumb. I think in the Copa America, there are levels, and Jamaica, I'll tell you, they will have done very well, very, very well if they can finish in the top 2 in that group featuring Mexico, Ecuador, and Venezuela. Most people by common consent think that it's going to be a evenly balanced group, but that group B, I think if things aren't addressed and players perform, if they don't perform above and beyond, they may not come out of that group. Cephas, let me tell you, I don't know, can he operate on the right side? Most of the times I've seen Cephas play, I know that wingers these days should have the ability and are told to switch sides, as we were talking about earlier. I've not seen Cephas on the right hand side playing for his club, let alone for the Reggae Boyz. So I don't know how effective he is. Demarai Gray.
I think Brian would know that. If Brian, can he play on the right? I think Brian is muted. Travis, you know if Cephas ever play on the right at Arnett?
Yeah, man, he play both wings, man, for Arnett.
Okay.
Jerome Wade first bus him Arnett because I'm coaching at Charlie Smith. Play on striker for Arnett.
Is he as effective on the right hand side, Travis?
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. But it mustn't quick enough. His speed alone he use.
His speed is electric. His speed is electric. He
Yeah.
won that game voting for Dominican Republic. He was the X factor. It's yeah. If it would be a bold decision to put him on the right hand side, I think that the coach places a lot of trust in Bobby Reid's experience, offensively and defensively. It would be a big call. It would be interesting call. Demarai Gray is a shoo-in, if fit to start, though. I don't know his level of fitness. Cephas has been playing and gotten enough game time to. It may not be beyond the realms of possibility that he gets a starting or certainly some game time on the left if Demarai Gray is not fully up to speed. He's proved that he's an effective player for the Reggae Boyz. He's got room to grow. IQ, his final ball, decision making can still be improved. And I wish him well. But his speed, when he gets it on and cranks up, he is hard to handle. It'll be an interesting one though. It'll be an interesting one. If you can play on the right hand side, it would be a bold call. Bobby Reid has done, he's one of the go-to guys for Coach Heimir. And when we see the return of Joel Latabadir, I think stability is going to be the first call. I don't expect to see Cephas starting, and if he does, it would be a sensational start in place of Demarai Gray if Demarai is not fully up to speed.
If Cephas starts, he goes on the left wing. Goes on the right wing. Demarai Gray plays the left, and if he wants to go with the two, it will be Boza and Antonio. And I think Bobby Reid would fill in. We would have almost a front five, and I think we're going to play with three at the back.
Bobby Reid, say that put Bobby Reid and Palmer in the middle.
No, Palmer would not be on my field.
So you're missing a player, right?
I'm not missing any player. Do you want my starting 11 for the first game against Mexico, Zach?
Your midfielders.
Let me go. It will be Jamali Waite in goal. Latibadir, Pinnock, and I believe Bernard in midfield, in centre backs, three centre backs. Left back, Greg Lay, right back, Dexter Lembakisi, that's the 5. And then I believe that Damian Lowe, he will have in the defensive midfield, maybe alongside Keroy Anderson, and in front of them, maybe Keroy Anderson, maybe, but I definitely think Damian Lowe isn't going in that midfield. Bobby Reid.
I think Damian Lowe starts there in this competition.
Yes, he does. Yeah, so let's see.
I think
and you've got Boza and Antonio up front to complete the rest of the team. Is that right?
No, I think we only play one of them. It'll be one or the other.
Yeah.
It'll be one or the other.
Yeah, that's
what I think the experiment with both of them didn't work. They play in each other's space. They don't complement each other well.
Nope.
I was going to make mention. Mikel Antonio, yeah, he was dropping back. He was playing in midfield.
He always starts for me. He always starts. I'm going to tell you, he did cut a forlorn figure in the game in the stadium. He was remonstrating that he was making runs and he wasn't being picked out by his teammates. He seemed a bit very ticked off about that. And I can reveal because he was quite audible. It wasn't so much of a SYM, but he really gave a effing hell was what he said one time when a ball came to him. I think it was from Damian Lowe, and it was just, you know what I mean? But I think because he has to understand that Damian Lowe is not a progressor or a passer of the ball. He's just there to destroy. So that may second it.
There's going to be some robust exchanges in the midfield in that group. Venezuela, Ecuador. I'm hoping that that robustness doesn't result in anything too untoward. But I hear you loud and clear, Cataract. That's some useful insight from inside the stadium. Do you think that we're going to be able to ever get the best out of Mikel Antonio? Do you expect him to be there for the full run up to?
Is not at his best. He's on the downside of his career. But we work with what we get. He's better than anything else that we have.
That's the key. JT, you agree? Give the subscribers a must.
People, with that, we have hit the 3-hour mark, and we want to thank everybody who passed through today. Best of yourself, people. Days ahead, but I'm gonna be paying a lot of attention to the Copa America until in a mixture of this as well. I won't be beating the whole Copa America, the Euros. I mean, I won't be beating the Euros, the Copa America draw every day, because I enjoy other levels of football as well. And I'm really looking forward to the Euros. This is my kind of football.
Likewise, well.
The top gladiators in Europe enter the arena this weekend. That's my style of ball game. And sorry if we hold Jamaica.
Is England the favorite? Is England the favorite?
You know, these kind of tournaments, I'm always going with Croatia and Italy.
in whose eyes? The bookies, the pundits, England favorites? Not in the reason boss's opinion. I'll tell you that much. Not favorites. Very good attacking quarter, but defensively, I think just like Jamaica have got issues in midfield, England will have issues, and they'll have to raise their game in defense if they're going to bring it home. That's when you've got Bellingham, Foden, Saka, Declan Rice, those are quality players, but the defensive wise.
How do you not mention Jude Bellingham?
Hold on. That's part of the attacking quarter. Jude Bellingham is a class player. That's why I say this England team, trust me, they are the real deal in terms of being a live and direct threat to lift a European title. I don't like the arrogance of English fans in general. It's not my cup of tea, but those players, they are genuinely capable of giving the best of Europe a game and a half. Bellingham, Declan Rice, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, who knows where the goal is. That's a very potent attacking quarter. Defensively, the best defender they had is Harry Maguire, in Southgate's opinion. He's not there only through injury, and there's the rub. If he was fit, he would have been included, and that would have still sent red flags and smokes, signals suggesting there's going to be danger there. The fact that Maguire is not there, he's had to rely on the likes of Mark Gay, John Stones, sometimes fit, sometimes not. They will be blood. There'll be blood in the water. I'm not sure if they're going to bring it home, but they could. It's going to be tough. France, Germany, Spain, Croatia.
Richard, England will go home early, man. England are good.
Hold on. England look good, and England going home early is a different thing.
Yeah.
How early are you talking about? Them come out of the group?
They're not good. All hype.
Them come out of the group, Trev?
Yeah, they will come out of the group, and then I'll go further in round of 16.
We will see. Hey, JT, hey, time flies when you're having fun, you know. When you say 3 hours, I'm frightened. My lord.
3 hours, man. This YouTube thing.
My lord. There's an abundance of football.
This is half of a day's work, you know.
Oh, God. My lord. There's an abundance of football. Copa America, I can't wait. European Championships begins. Scotland versus Germany, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Football is football, and we love our football. So any which way, looking left, right, and centre. And of course, the Seleção will be doing battle in Group D in the Copa America tournament. I'm not expecting Brazil necessarily to fly high, but let us see. There's plenty to be reasoning and chopping up as the days go by.
For the Euros, is the first game is Sunday. What time?
We mean Sunday's the first game. Sunday's not the first game. I believe the first game. Wait, let me get this right. Yeah, talk about. Who's the first game? No, Germany against Scotland.
Yeah, England plays Sunday, right?
Yeah, man. I think the first game tomorrow. I believe tomorrow is Friday. I think opening game is Scotland versus the host.
The game is tomorrow, Scotland at 9. So Richie, we will be doing. Let's do the watch along for that game tomorrow.
Which one? Scotland, Germany?
Yeah. Any one of the big games we can catch because we won't
Listen,
be consistent to do them.
no problem. If you want it, I can link you tomorrow. We can do something tomorrow. But by my pleasure. Rich Post Sports always in the ballpark when it comes to quality reasoning, and Sports Prophecy delivers that. Good to see Cataract in the building. Good to see Travis. Good to see Brian. Big up yourself, Rich Post Sports. Give us strength. Rich Post Sports always welcome subscribers. Hit the like button for Rich Post Sports, and of course for Sports Prophecy, who is doing an outstanding job with
A
JT.
good game is going to be on Saturday. Spain versus Croatia.
Croatia, big game, that's true, JT.
Big game.
Trouble at the dance with that. Two big teams.
Poland's Netherlands. Lewandowski, them can beat Netherlands. I'm a
Right now,
Dutch fan.
JT. More put some money for the game then from Friday, Saturday. So we buy Germany, we buy England, we buy Netherlands, Croatia and Spain, we buy 2.5. We shall a game again. We are play the games them.
Yeah, Black England, you stay there.
Yeah, man. Spain and Croatia 2.5.
You have Hungary, Switzerland, you have Italy, Albania, and Slovenia.
Italy going Hungary, Switzerland, goals we go buy that too. Over 2.5. Close game that. Some good games.
Right, man, love the gambling. You think him easy? Travis, all the best. Hey, we don't even want to push you too far with them something there. Name the winner of the European Championship. Give me 3 teams better than England.
France.
Quick and fast.
France, Portugal, and Netherlands.
All right. Remember, this is all on record, you know. The
Yes,
Dutch,
man.
you believe so the Dutch is better than England? Really and truly?
More all-round. More all-round team. In terms of experience in defense. In defense, they have a good defense.
Yeah, man.
More
They
than
have
England.
probably one of the most solid defensive units in the
The other
Euros.
guy from Bayern Munich and a great man, but a full big defender from Liverpool. So
Van
they're
Dijk.
more solid than him. But
Yeah,
to me, the team to watch still is Portugal. They have abundance of talent.
Yeah,
Portugal
and they look good in their warm-up games as well. They look like
Exactly.
they're firing up. They look like a good unit where a CR7 could maybe be relegated to the bench for that team.
I doubt that will happen. I saw them take care of the Republic of Ireland 3-0 nice and neatly. It's gonna be a good tournament. I don't think I wonder if Portugal have the legs and if they have the hunger and the cutting edge. When you look at England, I think England youthful wise, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Lord of mercy, the age. I think the people like Jota and Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes, they're full of quality.
You have to upload it for your confirmation, and then you can do the press afterwards. So there are 2 different processes.
Travis, I get my stream flag.
What? In the next mission, they say,
Hey, get my flag.
oh, flag?
Yeah, no, if we don't do that, yeah. But Reason Boss, can link up here.
Yes.
Link up off here.
Keep the lines open.
All right, man. People, best up with yourself.
Yes.
All right?
One love.